that the atmosphere is right now, or how conducive it is to circulation. So this is a small circulation feature coming across Highway 51 right now between Coweta and Wagner. So there is actually some gusty winds and a bit of a little factor going on there as far as this part of this cell, even though it's in an area that probably shouldn't have too much going on, actually is rotating at this point. So that's what we're seeing along this leading edge. So that goes now all the way into Wagner County. This is not a tornado-warned storm, but this is just to the west and northwest of Wagner, and that would be some gusty winds if you're in between, right on 51 right now, between Wagner and Coweta. So you would have some gusty winds in there, and you'd have some low-looking clouds, some scary-looking clouds with that. So that is a kind of an interesting little feature to go along with what's going on down to the south across areas around Morris. Looks like they've dropped the tornado warning for Morris at this time, as that we were looking at that, and that kind of broadened out a little bit. But you can see some of the stronger winds right now that are blowing in across areas just south and west of Wagner. Doesn't look like much on radar, but once again, that's what we're dealing with. So the tornado warning in Okmulgee County is now dropped for the time being, hopefully for a long time. And then where Brandon is located, we'll get him repositioned as he moves with those storms back to the south into Pittsburgh County. That's where we're going to go back and focus most of our energies for a while. This is with a line of severe thunderstorms. Tornado warnings now, the northwestern side pretty much of Pittsburgh County and just a little bit of southwest McIntosh County. So these are indicating where the strongest winds are located at this particular moment. Circulation feature just southwest of Scipio, and then also there's one further to the south just to the west of Haywood. And so now Sequoia is kind of in between two of those at this particular moment. Stacia, I'm going to get you to give us a storm track on both of these if you would. So these will have some hail with them. They should have winds of 50, 60 miles an hour. And then embedded in that is those circulation features that we're concerned with. And we'll get more specific here in a minute, Stacia.
All right, Trav. So I'm going to draw a line kind of on the leading edge of this because there are a couple circulations that we're watching here. So this whole line is moving northeast at about 30. And so we'll track that into north central Pittsburgh County and then also extending into McIntosh County as well. But this will take it from Scipio pretty much here in the next 2 minutes, and Haywood coming up in a few minutes as well, and then to Savannah by 12:21. Mallister is going to be closer to 12:30 still. Indianola also by 12:30. So again, a couple circulations within this line that we're watching. I went ahead and just drew a line on that leading edge. A couple cells have developed out ahead of it, like one right over Haywood. Maybe that can halter some of the inflow into the storm. We hope so. But that's just something that I noted here just recently. And of course, Sequoia is on the west side of Mallister to watch it. But within this line, as Trav mentioned, there's a couple areas that we have to watch really closely. It's also not a good area for storms when it comes to the radar sites, Trav, because it's so far away from each one. It has to look really high up. So we have to be really looking at this with a fine-tooth comb almost. Yeah,
that's a very good point. And it's kind of unfortunate in that zone for you guys in Pittsburgh County. But with some good eyewitness reports and as well as radar looking up into the storm a little bit, we still get hopefully enough good information for you that you can feel pretty good about what we're doing. So in the Scipio area up to Indianola, we want you to just make sure you're being very cautious on this and make sure that you're taking precautions so that you're not going to run into any problems. So 50, 60 mile an hour winds will be with that line of thunderstorms, mostly just about any place along that leading edge. So that's one of the things we can tell you. Also, with that, there are a few of those embedded areas that are pretty, or at least noteworthy, and that's just to the west, southwest of Scipio at this moment. And then the one that's coming in just to the west of Mallister. So there are a couple of locations that we are looking at that continue to are concerning. So that's just the one southwest of Scipio at this particular moment, northeast of Stewart. So here's kind of a look at city street level, and so you can see what's going on here from Highway 270, and then where pretty much it intersects with Buffalo Road. That is where the core is. This should be moving east here in just a second with another update. Here's the Haywood area on the north side of the depot, and so that is also going to be a very turbulent sky looking. Sequoia, let's see. Hey, Sequoia, give us an update, will you? What are you seeing?
Looking back to my west right now, or southwest actually, towards the Haywood, Scipio area from Highway 75 and 270. Definitely some scary-looking clouds a lot of lightning. Lightning has increased extreme in the last 5 minutes. Starting to get some rain now. Back to you, Travis.
All right, good. Of course, right when you say it's extreme or lightning starts to pick up, it doesn't even lightning. That's just how it goes. I see your windshield wiper though, so I know it's a live video. So this is what we're going to be watching, and there's lightning strike, but you can't see a whole lot along that leading edge as it's coming in his direction. We'll go back to radar here to show you what that looks like. So here's Sequoia looking back into this, and so we're not seeing a ton of things going on, but this is anywhere from around the Scipio area back to the west, so that circulation feature still right in here, and then you can see from 270. So he's just about 5 miles to the west of him at this point. Well, really about 4 on 270 there is where that circulation feature would be located, and that is what's making our tornado warnings being issued at this particular moment. So just be advised for that. Rain and thunderstorms are also causing a lot of just concern for flooding. So don't forget that, because the flooding potential is going to be very high because there's such copious amounts of water falling with these storms. All right, so that's a look at what's happening right here. Let's go back on up and take a look a little bit further on the north side. Here's the storm from the Scipio location, and then also the stronger winds. As we mentioned, there's a few pockets of that along the way. So this is going to be pretty much just a couple of where 50-mile-an-hour winds gusting to over 60, maybe to near 70. We're looking up above it just a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to get a confirmation on just how strong winds are near surface, but this gives you a pretty good idea. So now that's moved into Haywood, also into Scipio, so it's right here at your doorstep, and that's moving to the northeast. So what we'll be watching for is any spin up right along this leading edge, so we do have that circulation feature. Sequoia is starting to get that rain. He was just mentioning getting some rain, so he's just starting to get popped on with some of those showers advancing into his area, so he'll have to make sure he can continue to see what's going on with that. Say, Sequoia, before you go, one more observation from you. Anything change? You still got the same stuff? What are you looking at?
Yeah, Travis. Definitely something weird's going on back to my west. I told Aaron I wasn't going to call it power flashes, but there's some blue lightning back in there. It could be just the way it is. But like I said, I'm not positive, so I'm not calling it power flashes. There's definitely a lowering back that way. So we're going to keep an eye on it, Travis. Back to you, sir. All
right, thanks. Appreciate it, Sequoia. And so you can see what's coming in. So you can kind of see what's going on right in there. That was a great lightning for that if I had my big fat head out of the way. But that's what we're going to be watching. And you're going to see that kind of along that leading edge a little bit more so. So that helps you kind of understand. And so we've got update. Okay, yep. So Stacia has an updated track on that, Stacia.
To have a track on that circulation that Sequoia is watching, and this is moving northeast at about 35. This could stay on the west-northwest sides of Mallister as it kind of swings up to the north and east. So for Mallister by 12:30, by 12:26 for the west-northwest side, Bug Tussle by 12:35, Reams by 12:36. Now, Bug Tussle and Reams are not included in the tornado warning right now. You are outside of the polygon, but we want you to watch this again really closely. But that circulation that Sequoia is watching just due west, that's lifting more northeast at 35, Trav.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. We do have, with these tornado warnings, these are the primary tornado warnings. We do not have anything severe north of this line in Pittsburgh County, except for southwestern portion of McIntosh County. So what we're dealing with right now is more flooding and gusty winds. And so Bob is in some of that at this particular moment. Hey, Bob, are you with us right now?
Yeah, Trav, I'm on the Will Rogers Turnpike headed into Tucson, and it's raining to beat the band out here. We've probably got some localized flooding going on at this point. But right now, not a lot in the way of wind, quite a bit of lightning, but just torrential rain. Back to you, Travis.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. So again, covering what's happening across the Tulsa area, we're hoping we don't have to end up with anything severe, but that gives you a pretty good indication of what we're dealing with out here. Lots of water has fallen again, so it's 2-3 inches of rain. In fact, we can take a look and show you what that's about. So let's go back. And so here's what we have at this point. 2 pushing, yep, 2 closing in on 3 inches of rain. And we were anticipating anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain by the time this system got out of here. So that's probably going to end up being very close to what's going on. And updates, you can see even going further south and west. tons of water that have fallen. Not everybody's picked up that amount of rain. I mean, notice if you go up there to the east, hasn't happened around Tallahena, and then back northwest of Tulsa. I want to point this out too. It's much lighter amounts of rainfall. So Aaron's not going to get a whole bunch of water in his Skytook Lake. Sorry, Aaron, at this point, at the rate it's going. And it really drops off the further west you go. All right, just wanted to point that out. So again, flooding, still be aware of that. No severe thunderstorms. We do have an aerial flood warning in effect for areas of extreme southeast Tulsa County, western portion of Wagner County, northeastern Okmulgee County, and northwestern Muskogee County to match up with southern portions of Okmulgee County and also eastern portions of Okfuskee County. So that's where the flooding conditions are at least favorable, especially anything like associated with low water crossing or areas that tend to flood. So don't take the risk. Again, we say turn around, don't drown. Right now, though, our focus continues to be down south where Sequoia is located with this severe storm. And so this is the north one is the one now into Scipio. And so if you're in this area, this is what we're watching right here with this one. Haywood has another one, but this is what is concerning. So what we see at this point is that circulation feature showing up here, and it's in Scipio for the basically, I would say, anywhere from East 1360 Road and then also down to 1390 Road. And really any place from 1390 to 1330 Road probably covers it. And then from North 3950 Road to 3980 Road. So you kind of get the idea of what's going on right in here. This is the center of that circulation feature. Sequoia is just off to the right of this. Sequoia, another update from you. Seeing any changes out of that storm?
I can start to see the base of this storm rolling in. I can hear the sirens going off in Mallister right now. I'm not seeing anything, but I am in a kind of a precarious situation with the terrain. So I'm going to back up just a little bit and see if I can get a better look at this as it comes into Mallister, sir.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it, sir. All right, let's go back to radar then. So again, you see where he is located from on 270. So one of the things, one of the storms, there's two of them. One near 270 that we're watching, but this one near Scipio has a little bit stronger rotating values associated with it, and so that is pulling up toward the Ulan area. Stacia has a new updated storm track on that. Stacia, what do you have for us?
It is pulling up towards Ulan. That'll be about 1226 as it moves into town here, northeast at 35, tracking up to Hanna as well by 1234 for Hanna, Indianola by 1237, Canadian Shores about 1240, and Crowder by 1243. Rayford also, you're in the path of my storm track here. You're not in the tornado warning, but for Rayford, that's going to be here in the next half hour. But Scipio now, and then Ulan next at 1226, Trav.
All right, thank you. So for you folks down there, still want you to take cover, still want you to be careful just in case. It is not a super tight indication of a tornado on the ground, but we do have our tornado warning. We need you to just take those precautions just to be on the safe side, because even if there is not a tornado, the turbulence associated with that is noteworthy over Scipio right now, and it is rotating, and so it's guaranteed to be a rotating storm. So there is going to be some damage, wind damage, probably minimal. I shouldn't say minimal wind damage, but at the lowest level, there's going to be wind damage because that has a tighter circulation feature with that. So this is another one coming in on the southwest side of Pittsburgh County. So here's Mallister. So this is Wardville. So this is another one that is a very strong rotating area. And so because of that, between Ashland and Wardville, this storm track is going to also go up into Savannah to Mallister. So if you're watching, need to be aware. It's not to you guys yet, but if you have some plans that you have made in the past, make sure that you're ready to go just in case here as we look at what's going on. The one to the north, again, strongest Scipio to the south, the second strongest that's south of Ashland, and then the one that's the Haywood. This is kind of a wind and also a very turbulent area that could be 60-mile-an-hour winds. This is wrapped up more so now over Scipio, so we're more concerned about what's going on right in this zone as that's moving to the northeast. So again, from Scipio, and that is going to take us back on up to the Ulan area that Stacia was just talking about, storm track. We'd say 3980 Road would be close to it, 1350 Road. So that's basically in the small area of Scipio. and then that's going up to 1330 Road pretty quick right now, and that'll get on over to Sunshine Road. So anywhere from the Indian Nations Turnpike, 1330 Road, and right around the Scipio area. So this is a high probability, strong damaging wind, and a possible tornado mixed in here. It's going to be hard to see because of rain wrapped. The only time you can see some of these that are on leading edge is if it's coming right towards you. That gives you a little bit better idea, or a power flash. Again, a lot of people kind of confuse lightning with power flashes, and so it's hard. And it's kind of like what Sequoia just said. I can't tell if it was lightning or a power flash, but that's one of the few things that you can see at night other than visually seeing it off of radar. So that's what we're seeing here. Back to the south a little bit further, and then we'll have station doing a storm track on our south storm. But the Scipio one, here's Mallister, and then back further a little bit, there we go. So this is Wardville and just southeast of Ashland now, and just west of Kiowa. So this is a rotating storm as well, capable of producing a tornado. So we do have a tornado warning for you guys right in here, headed toward Kiowa, it looks like. Let's talk to Stacia, see if she has an update.
This one, Trav, is moving a little faster. This one's at 40 to 45 up to the north and east. So this is Kiowa here very shortly, then potentially into Mallister. So for folks in Mallister, you just kind of dodged the one out by Haywood, but now you really have to watch this one coming up out of the southwest. So Kiowa pretty much now wants you to be in that safe spot. So move to the centermost part of your home on the lowest level away from windows and doors. Savannah coming up at 1232, Chambers by 1236, and then Mallister for this storm down by Wardville, this coming in about 1245. So again, that's moving up to the northeast a little faster than the other two circulations at about 40, Trav.
All right, a lot of things happening right now down in this zone. And let's see if we have Vaughn can give us a little bit of information as well on what's going on, because we have so many parts of this storm that are going on. You can see where Sequoia is. Here's Vaughn. He's up near the Crowder area, kind of getting repositioned for these storms. Hey, Vaughn, what's your take on what's going on with the winds and what's the atmosphere like in advance of this?
Yeah, I just got off at the Canadian exit here off of the 69, and trying to get in position, trying to look southwest here at this tornado warning part of this storm. It's tough to find hills where you can see it from, but I'm getting ready to find one here in just a second, and should have a pretty good look at it here, hopefully, at least when it lightnings. So
all right,
I'm going to sit up here, and as soon as I get a good handle on what I see over here, I'll get back with you, Travis.
All right, thanks. Hey, appreciate it, Vaughn. All right, so that's a look with there, and then Sequoia, if you would. So Vaughn's up in the Crowder, Indianola area, and then Sequoia, if you would, give me another update on that to the northwest. What do you got there?
I can't tell if there's a tornado on the ground or not, but I can see down that way easy.
Vaughn?
From where I'm at, it's harder to see north.
Sequoia. Okay, sorry, Sequoia. All right, are you looking to the northwest storm or are you looking to the southwest storm?
I was looking to the northwest storm. Now I can actually see the southwest storm coming up.
Okay.
There's a large bowl lowering with it. The winds have really, really picked up in the last couple minutes.
Are they about 10 to 20 miles an hour?
As soon as I say, yes, it's about 45.
Oh,
as soon as I say something, we don't have any lightning to show you guys what I was looking at. But the winds are really blowing. I'll keep you advised, Travis.
All right.
This is getting kind of hairy down here.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to radar.
I wanted to also add, Brandon said he has 50-mile-per-hour winds up further north. So
he does.
On the leading edge where he's at.
Okay, and that's going to be heavy thunderstorm advisories for these guys. So again, Muskogee County, back up to the north. Just be aware. Let's take us north just a hair bit further. So again, heavy rains. Bob is on the north side of what's going on with this near the Broken Arrow area to Coweta and then to Haskell. So these are very windy storms. It's just cold rain on the backside, but if you're on this side, there's going to be a heavy rain and all that going on. All right, here's Brandon, just northwest of Shakota with 50-mile-an-hour winds. And then back further to the south, back into our tornado warned area, we're still looking at multiple tornado warnings along this area. So this is covering basically all of Pittsburgh County. If you're in Pittsburgh County, take cover. That's all we're going to say, because we have 3 locations where we have circulation features going on with a severe thunderstorm warning thrown in the middle of that. The Scipio part of this storm is still rotating, so it's right around Ulen right at this particular moment. It's moved through Scipio, and so that is what we see here. Vaughn would have a shot of looking at that, but we don't have any confirmation of anything going on with that, other than we have an active tornado warning, and that's for Ulen at this particular moment. East 132 Road, 1330 Road, we've mentioned that, and then that's going to extend from Ulen Road up to Lone Oak Road, most likely, as that continues to move to the northeast. If you're there toward Indianola, we want you to be taking cover to be safe. A little bit further south, there's a stronger connection with what's happening with the cell a little bit further south. You can see where Sequoia is located just west of McAllister right now, and then our bigger storm that's coming up is now pushing north and east. So there's a couple parts to that. So we do have just west of Kiowa, and that's near the southwest side of the ammunition depot. And so that circulation feature right in here, just west of Kiowa, and that is tracking northeast. So we'll go to Stacia here in just a second, get an update from her, but you get the general idea from the Kiowa, and then that extends back to the east, northeast, and then you can see around Savannah, and this is coming over the old Army Ammunition Depot area. It's all right through our near Ward Springs. So this would be the center of our circulation feature, moving northeast. Stacia, what do you have?
It's northeast at 40, Trav. So from Ashland, between Ashland and Kiowa to the northeast, does track it in towards McAllister. Savannah here by 1237, taking it up to Chambers by 1240. McAllister about 1245 to 1248, but that southwest side of town would, of course, be a little sooner. Alderson by 1251, and Krebs also at 1251. So again, tracking that one at about 40 miles per hour, Trav.
All right. Circulation to the north is south of Hanna now, and just north of Scipio near Ulen. So we have that still as an active tornado warning on the north side. That has continued with the tornado warning, and so that's moving, as we said, to the northeast at 35, and that warning goes till 12:45. We are officially sitting at 12:24 right now, coming up on 12:25. So that's what we're seeing at this particular moment. So that's moved north of Scipio, now on Ulen at this point. So if you're up in this area, be advised. And we can readjust this a little bit as we're looking at what's going on. So here's the Ulen area. Let's pull it back southwest a little bit. There you go, thanks. And so you can see where Hanna is located. So there's still a circulation feature right up in here that's concerning. And even if it isn't a tornado, some 50, 60 mile an hour winds, could be some power outages. Again, get our app, and so you can stream with us, so it'll be easy to do. The one east of Scipio, and just to the, really to the, I would say, we'll call it just about 5 miles northwest of McAllister. You know, there's a lot of turbulence right in here. Sequoia's been seeing a lot of that. Sequoia, I'm going to come back to you and get another update from you. What are you seeing? I see stuff going on to your northwest, to your west, and southwest. What do you see?
Right now, I'm looking to the northwest, McAllister, to get a good lightning shot. You can see the lowering. Looks like actually we have a funnel, Travis, about halfway to the ground. As moving, the speed has actually picked up on that storm. I don't know if you guys are seeing the same thing. But,
yeah. Okay, I was just looking. I saw one lightning flash there. We were trying to see it. Okay. Are you looking, is it just to the left of the one-way sign a little bit? Is that what you're seeing, a little bit of lowering? Is that where you're looking at it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what, so again, with these clouds and what's happening, and what we're looking for, what Sequoia is looking for, is anything that gives us like a power flash on the ground. That's the only way we can really confirm if tornadoes on the ground, if we cannot visually see it with our trackers. So we're waiting for a lightning strike again that'll hopefully pop up here in a minute. But that gives you an idea of what's going on there. And Sequoia, have you been able to look to your southwest? So right in this zone right here. Have you looked off to your southwest at all? And can you tell anything going on there at this particular moment?
Right now, I see a lot of scuddy-looking clouds.
Okay.
Or scary-looking clouds back that direction.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to get a better vantage point. That's about all I can do, Travis.
Yep.
And,
Keep her going. Keep her going. All right. Thank you, Sequoia. And so Vaughn's going to intercept some of these storms as well. We have the storms that are coming in out of the southwest that have some strong winds associated with them coming up around the Kiowa area. And then we have the kind of a tighter gradient right at this moment, seemingly around northeast of Scipio and just southwest of Indianola. So those are a couple of places, and then we'll have Stacia get us another storm track. So again, this is a pretty strong gradient right in here. What gradient? I mean just strong wind differences. So you're getting strong winds pulling in from out of the east, southeast, and then you're getting a strong wind from out of the west, southwest to northwest. And so that's moving in on Indianola right now. So we're still active with a tornado warning here from Hanna to Ulen to Indianola. Backside of this is calmed down from Scipio back to the west, so you don't have to worry back to the west of that. Then this line continues back to the west. Just from near Mallister right now, we do not have any circulation features showing up on radar immediately in the west Mallister side. We do have, though, some strong winds coming in out of southwest Pittsburgh County, and some of those winds, and probably a shelf-looking cloud might be associated with that. And along that leading edge, we have to look for potential for anything that's wrapped up. Stacia.
All right, Trav, so I have a track here on the circulation up by Hanna and Indianola. So with this coming up to Hanna pretty much now at 12:35, or just several minutes away, but it's pretty much there at that point. Now Indianola, again, 5 more minutes, but for Rayford by 12:43, Vivian by 12:50, along with Carter's Corner, the tornado warning they're probably assessing now and seeing if it will be issued downstream. But Hanna and Indianola folks need to take those precautions. So get into the centermost part of your home on the lowest level. But in the track is Rayford by 12:43, and then Vivian by 12:49, Lena by 12:55, Trav, and Stidham by 12:56.
All right, very, very strong winds with these. So don't be surprised you get some 50. I mean, at 60 miles an hour, 58 miles per hour is the official severe thunderstorm winds. But again, if you get a 60-mile-an-hour wind, you got leaves on trees. It's just, it messes a lot of branches up, and then of course they hit power lines, and then you lose power. So this is a storm track that you see that Stacia has had, and so that's moving up to the Mallister area. Still concerning with what's going on right in here as that moves on up across areas from Haywood and parts of the ammunition depot back into Mallister. So those are the biggest concerns on that particular side. And then tornado warnings just pretty much cover all of Pittsburgh County. So this is a little bit unusual that we'll have them overlapping each other, but that's just because along this leading edge, it's very high level of instability right along this leading edge. So that's why we have the tornado warnings pretty much bam, bam, bam. And then we're getting some, what appears to be some hail, I think, too, around the Kiowa area. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have some chunks of hail that are falling from out of here. So it's showing up now. So there's some good chance that we're probably getting some golf ball size hail with probably some 60-mile-an-hour winds, which would do some damage. There are some tornado warnings further to the south, which could affect Latimer County. So that storm that's down the south of Atoka, if that holds together, that could move across Pushmataha and then county, and then move into Latimer or LaFleur counties on the south side, because this is still very active line all the way to the south. And then we get a few of these cells that are coming up, and they'll kind of embed themselves into this line, and then that enhances some of those thunderstorms briefly as well. So that's what we see right now. Tornado warnings continue in effect for central and western Pittsburgh County. See where Sequoia and Vaughn are located. I think I'm going to go to Vaughn and get an update from him real quick. Vaughn, if you would, kind of give me a perspective of what you see, if you would. What's going on?
Yeah, found a pretty good vantage point here, right at the Canadian exit. I can see forever up here. I'm looking straight west towards Indianola. I see a lowering when it lightnings, and there's not that much lightning. That's the thing. You get a lightning strike every once in a while, and you have to be quick at looking. But there's a kind of a lowering right there. I have not actually seen anything that would look like a funnel or a tornado on the ground. So, but I'm going to keep watching it. And I got it, like I said, I got a great vantage point right here.
Yeah.
Back to you.
I was going to say, that looks pretty impressive off of there. Yeah, we're waiting for a lightning strike that actually kind of gives us a little bit of a terrain shot or a little bit of a lightning cloud formation shot, but we're not getting it right at this moment. So, all right, we'll come back to you in a little bit. So this is Vaughn's in Canadian, looking back over the lake, and what he's seeing, parts of the lake, I guess we could say, and really just off of the lake, and back to the west toward Indianola. So that's where the strongest parts of the storm are. That's where the stronger winds are located right now. So with him seeing that, that's helping us out quite a bit and giving us a little bit better feel for what's happening. Also, a new severe thunderstorm warning is going to be extended off of that tornado warning. So the National Weather Service could be switching over right now from a tornado warning to a severe thunderstorm warning. That will be covering central portions of McIntosh County. That'll be for hail and wind as that moves to the northeast. And so that's where the strongest winds are moving in on Indianola, already through Hanna. So the winds are continuing to move at a pretty good clip, as Stacia mentioned just a few moments ago. So we've already gone through Scipio, Ulen, and now Indianola, and heavy rains are going all along this leading edge. Brandon's getting in on the warning area as well. But if you are in these areas, we still have that tornado warning. We still have strong winds, and so we still want you to be careful for a little bit longer. And we still have to be careful because a severe thunderstorm warning, with that's a bit of a problem. The storm has now moved into the Mallister area. And so we have a cell like on the east side developed. Strongest winds are near Savannah. So this is just on the southwest side of Mallister. So this is a concern right in here because we're looking at this, again, this is kind of a stronger point. And if this starts to get any stronger, we could get a tornado pretty fast. So this has all the indications. Rotating storm, which is the first priority of getting a severe storm that could produce not only large hail, but also a tornado. And so that is tracking northeast. And let's come in on City Street a little bit more, and let's pull it back off southwest. So that's the updated, they did update the tornado warning just while we were talking. And so the back side of it now goes from around Haywood back down the Brewer, Savannah area. This is the core of this right now where we're most concerned. And Sequoia is in Mallister at this moment. You see his video up here in the upper left-hand corner of your monitor. So he's in town right now. As soon as he gets a shot, Aaron, if you would, we'll talk to him again, because obviously in town he's not going to get a very good shot. And Stacia, I'm going to have you get ready to do a storm track again for here, if you would, please. And then as this moves up, Savannah, you're basically right at the, I wouldn't say at epicenter, but you're really close to where the strongest winds and also where the circulation feature from Savannah back to the north and west, where this is located. So we're real concerned here to Chambers. And then that moves all the way on up toward Mallister. So this is a concern at this particular moment. Stacia, what do you have?
Yeah, Trav, I was going to tell you that in Mallister, the winds are gusting just a few minutes ago to 15 out of the southeast, and then down at Tallahena, or just south in southern Latimer County, they're gusting at 24. So just note that.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
This track here for the storm by Savannah, that's going to move up towards Mallister by 12:43. So that's about 10 more minutes from now. Right now, it's pretty much over Savannah, just up to the northwest. Chambers by 12:36. So that's first up. Mallister 12:43. Krebs 12:46. And then Richville by 12:49 and Carbon by 12:50.
All right, and that is still of concern because there's a lot going on right in there at this moment, and that is just going to be probably anything along that leading edge is just is going to be probably with winds of 50 to 60, maybe up to 70 miles an hour. The new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, that is now all the way up to portions of Haskell County, McIntosh County, and north central Pittsburgh County. That will be until 1:15 a.m. For that part of the storm. And Brandon's on the north side of that. He had some 50-mile-an-hour winds just a little bit ago. Brandon, if you would give us an update from your location. What do you have around Chakota area?
Yeah, Travis, well, when we were just south of Council Hill about 20 minutes ago, we had 50-mile-an-hour winds. Right now we're in Chakota, and we're getting light to occasionally moderate rainfall. Bar ditches are full, or starting to fill up. A lot of ponding here along 69 and 266. But and the lightning is actually increasing to our southwest. So I think that stuff's moving right up this direction. Back to you.
It is. So that is the big storm there. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Let's go back to radar for a minute. We'll zoom in a little bit more for where Vaughn is located. So you're getting that severe thunderstorm into McIntosh County at this particular moment. And then just to the south, Vaughn is just a little bit south into northern Pittsburgh County as that storm is moving just to his south and west. Vaughn, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Travis, I'm still up here on this great vantage point. I'm not seeing anything that's concerning. Of course, I'm looking through a lot of rain too, okay? But I do have a great vantage point here, and I'm looking back to my west and looking to my southwest every time we get a lightning strike, and I'm not seeing any kind of lowering or any kind of thing that's concerning. But I'm going to keep watching because, there is some high winds in there for sure. But who knows if there's something rotating or not, but we're going to keep watching on it. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And so that's what he's seeing right there. And then we have that area from Massive Point and then Bug Tussle. And let's look at some shear if we could, and then also some velocity data just off of here just to kind of see how that looks. So that's coming in on Vaughn right now, some strong winds. You can see anywhere from Sam's Point and then extending back down to Crowder, and then where Vaughn is located, seeing that. And let's go back further south if we could, just a little bit there, and then give it velocity data right in here if we could look at that. So there's from Crowder, and then just from Indianola to Crowder, still very turbulent. So there's a lot going on right in this area, so just be advised. All right, let's go to McAllister, where our concerns are at this point. Again, it's a very broad kind of a push of strong winds coming out of the west-southwest, but it's tightened up now. We're just on the southwest sides of McAllister, and I need Sequoia. Hey, has Sequoia got a shot, Aaron? Do you know? Does Sequoia have a shot for me here? Sequoia, you? Not quite? Okay, because we need him. We need a shot real quick because this is coming in right now on town, and so this is a lowered cloud base, I'm sure, right in here, and that's just to the south and west of McAllister. If you're in McAllister, we do want you to just take cover and just be careful as this is moving right on up across your area, and I'll have Stacia help us out here in just a second as well with an updated storm track. You got it? Okay. Hey, Sequoia, if you would, give me an update. You got to look back to your west-southwest. What are you seeing out of that? It's a little bit tighter as it's coming in on the south side of McAllister. You there, Sequoia? He was there just a second ago. Sequoia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Update. I see your video. It's good video right in here. But are you seeing anything lowered there on the? You're looking west-southwest from your location?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right now, as you can see, the lightning, there is a lowering right there in the middle of my screen. It almost looks like a shelf cloud. It's not a shelf cloud. It's definitely a wall cloud with a lot of winds in it. As I come from McAllister into Krebs, we may have something, Travis, right above the white truck here.
We're looking right now with you.
Right there. It's a delay, but it looks like we have
maybe right in here. Okay. This area.
Okay, it looks like we may have a funnel trying to form right here.
Okay. What we're going to do, stay on the air with us. We're going to keep your mic hot here for a minute. If we can do a double box, I also want to do a quick storm track on what's going on with this. So this would be about right in here that we're looking at it. So we want to be able to see that. All right. I don't know if it disappeared there. It looked like I lost it on the last go around. Let's get a storm track on here if we could as well for you folks, so you know what we're talking about and where we're talking about it. Let's go to Stacia, and then if you can get our video back on the air, that'd be great. All right, Stacia.
All right, Trav, so it's fast. It's at 50 miles per hour now. This is to the northeast, and so it's tracks through McAllister here in the next couple of minutes on the west side of town and north side of town. Richville by 12:49, Bug Tussle by 12:50, Crowder by 12:58, Blocker close to 1 o'clock along with Bristow Point. So again, just west of McAllister now, tracking through town in the next few minutes. It's at 50 miles per hour, Trav.
All right, thanks. Let's get back to the video of what we're looking at, and so it was him looking on the south side. All right, Sequoia, anything else right there? Trying to look with you at this particular moment.
Now, everything seems
Okay, all right.
Definitely has gotten a little bit better.
Okay.
But we're going to definitely keep an eye on it. It's very
it's
concerning.
rotating.
People need to take they need to take the preventive precautions.
Yeah.
Back to you, Travis.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And so again, you can see where he's located. This is just west, and so this is tightened up right now. So we are concerned if you're in Mallister here. So we do want you to go ahead, be safe, and just get away from the outside windows and walls. And one of the things we want you to do is just realize that there could be some very strong winds right in here. So this is on the west side of town at this particular moment. Let's zoom in just a hair bit more, if you would, on this zone. And so it's what we're seeing, and we can go east a little, just pull it back to the west, thanks. And so from downtown Mallister area here, and then extending back on 270. So this is just going to be right near Mallister at this particular moment. So this is circulating just above you. And so, and Sequoia is looking close down at the surface. So that's coming into town right now. So that's why we want you to be exceptionally careful as this moves in over the city. And you'll see the video that's basically right here. And so as you look at that, we're going to continue to just kind of pinpoint what's going on. This is the worst storm. We will get up to you guys up around Crowder. Stations keep an eye on that as well. And but right now we want to just do play-by-play as far as what's happening here as it's coming through town. So this is in the city of Mallister, right in here again. And so this is the stronger circulation feature coming off the highway from 31 and 270. So that's why we're watching this very closely to make sure nothing gets too carried away. Just because it's coming across. Now this is going to be a little bit more on the north and west sides, so that's kind of centered up on the 270, so that's going northeast, so that'll be taking it across the northwest sides of Mallister a little bit. So this is still the primary zone that we're worried about right in through here. And so that looks like if you're on the south side, maybe not quite as bad. Sequoia, one more update from you. Do you have another update?
Trying to get a better vantage point right now, Travis. Heavy rain. Definitely windy. I could just clock a gust at 63. 63.8 mile per hour gust a little bit ago. I think it was flowing. We're going to keep an eye on it. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. We got it. We got a bunch going on with this. There's also more circulations down to the south, or another circulation. But just be careful here at Mallister. Just want to be careful. So far, we're marginally okay. But just know that if you're on the Mallister north and west sides, this is the primary circulation here. Let's go back down a little bit more and see what's going on. So along right in here, here's Blanco, and so this is northeast of Pittsburgh, and this is Pittsburgh County. So again, there's a bit of a circulation feature here as well, east, southeast of Savannah. So we do have a tornado warning that extends all the way over to Hartshorn area. So that's what we're seeing. So this is a very turbulent area, and it's on now kind of on the north side of Mallister. So that's moving. Did you say about 50? Is that what you said?
The
for
Mallister circulation, yeah.
That's about 50. Okay, so it's moving. Yeah, that is. And so that's what we're watching right now here. And then also the one to the south and back to the north. Notice the winds. It's just about ready to hit Vaughn. Vaughn, quick update from you on your storm, because that's just blasting in on you right now. What do you have?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to work down right here, Travis, to get a good look at it. I've got a great look at it because I'm over the lake on a bridge, and I'm looking straight directly west. Oh, wow. Yeah. There's definitely some. Oh. Hold on a second, Travis. Hold on a second. What is that right there?
Standing on
what is that right there in the light?
Right now.
What is that right there in the light? I'm not sure if that's a reflection. See that?
Yeah.
Right there in the middle. There's like a long, skinny tube. But I'm not going to call that a tornado right now.
No.
That could be a reflection from something on the base. But you can see the structure there. When it lightnings, you can see the structure. Well, I don't know. I don't know, Travis. If that's over the lake, that could be like a waterspout type of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
it's wrapped.
yeah,
it's
I'm
wrapped
keep
up.
watching that.
It's wrapped up right in there. So this again is just really close we'll say just right near Canadian area. And so Vaughn's just looking back to his west-southwest near Canadian. So that's another one. We want you to be very careful. So Canadian, also Mallister area, as that's going across. So these, and again, we just want to make sure everybody's safe and not trying to scare everybody in Pittsburgh County and McIntosh County. But this is a very intense line of thunderstorms, so you have to watch it with what's going on. All right. So this is, once he gets through there, we'll look one more time at Vaughn. Oh man, that would have been a great lightning strike to have been able to see that. But so that's what we're watching here. And then let's take a look at velocities, and then we'll have Stacia get a storm track so we can get a couple things going on. So here's where Vaughn is located. Here's our Sequoia storm, Mallister storm. And then there's the one down here just to the south and just to the east of Savannah. So this is one area. There's one area just right here on the north side of Mallister, and then the one that Vaughn is on right in here. So a lot of turbulence right along this leading edge right through here. So these are the two areas of concern. And so we have a severe thunderstorm warning officially up around Lake Eufaula, but Vaughn's keeping an eye on that circulation. And then also what's going on in Mallister. Okay, Stacia, update. I
have a track on Vaughn's storm in that area that he's watching. Now, it is a severe thunderstorm warning, but they put a tornado tag on it. So just FYI that they're still going to watch this closely. But this will move up to the northeast to Eufaula by 12:52. Those really strong winds. Brush Hill by 12:55. Longtown by 12:56. Shakota by 1 o'clock, about 1:04. And Dutchess Landing Trav by 1:07.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate that. Again, you guys got the general idea of what's going on. Let's go into Mallister and take a look and give you kind of a better idea. And we'll talk to Sequoia here in just a second. All right, so now that is over the city with a basic a little bit stronger circulation on the north side of town, but also into Mallister right now. You should be getting some pretty good wind, or not good, but some strong winds. Sequoia, what do you have for us in Mallister?
I'm right here at 69 and 270 in the house. Looks like there's a lot of power out in the city. Either that or the rain is just really, really hard. But I didn't, like I said, I wasn't going to call it power flashes if I know if it's not a positive power flash. But it definitely has a lot of weird and lighting with it. We'll keep an eye on it, Travis.
All right. All right, so again, we'll see how that hits. But again, there should be some 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds with this and just unbelievable amounts of rain going on with this line of storms. Okay, that's in right now in Mallister, and then we're going all the way back up to the north. Here's a look at the radar again. So this circulation features, and again, a very ragtag right along this. So it's just very rough go. So the strongest winds around Mallister. There's some stronger winds also down to the south now with this south side. And you see where this is all the way down to Pine Top. So this is going to be pushing very rapidly. In fact, it is all the way now just southwest of Hartshorn. So anything along this edge, you're going to see kind of a lowering as that comes across. And so that's where the winds will be 50, 60 miles an hour, maybe more. And so that's the edge at this point. The center or the circulation feature still is showing up right in here over Mallister. So we do have a couple of areas. We have the one here, the one southwest of Alderson. So that is also a little bit of a circulation pivoting point right here. Nothing is super tight, so we're, again, being cautious, we're concerned, but not overly concerned that it's a terrible situation. So just be advised that we're watching with what's going on. But these, unfortunately, have a chance they can spin up very, very quickly. So just a matter of a few minutes, you can have something happening and not catch it until it's happening, literally. So that's why we want you to be on guard if you're with us here. Sequoia is literally in the middle of some of that at this moment. Sequoia, any change on the wind speeds with what you have right now?
Settled down. The rain has really picked up. I'm trying to cover both of these circulation features, so I'm moving towards Alderson now.
Okay.
But when I get a good look at something, Travis, I can do that and holler.
Yep. All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Back to radar for a moment. And so again, so this is the circulation that's picking up now on the southeast sides of Mallister. So we had the one here that's to the north, the Migo area, And so that's weaker. This one's a little bit stronger, just south of Krebs. So that's what he's running into right now. Further to the north, again, this is all severe thunderstorms mixed in with all this. Here's the leading edge, and then you can see where we are right now. Vaughn is not too far from Carlton Landing. This is a line, again, narrow line, strong winds, heavy rainfall, severe thunderstorm warning, central McIntosh County, basically the lake and Eufaula and the lake. That sums up pretty much everything there. Looks like a hail core is now right around the Eufaula area at this moment, so we should have some hail from around Eufaula back down to maybe Canadian. Vaughn is right in the midst of that. Vaughn, do you have an update? What's going on right there?
Yeah, I had some, right, I'm on the Carlton Landing, Highway 9A, getting ready to get on Highway 9. Had about 55 mile an hour winds right there as that came through. Not really any turbulent winds. They were pretty much straight line where I was. So, but I never saw anything that was on the ground or anything that looked like it, except that one thing that we were looking at when you came to me last. But
yeah.
I'm now out of the rain again, so I'm going to turn around here and see if I can get a look kind of towards Eufaula. I think there's a pretty strong area right up there.
Yeah, it's literally just to the west of you right now. So that's what's going on. All right, we'll let you take a look. You can holler at Aaron and you can holler at us here in just a sec. All right, let's go back, take a look at radar and show you what we have. So this is the leading edge of it. And so Vaughn is literally, it's just right there. And we might get up to Brandon and Bob here in a minute, but let's go back down to Mallister for a minute. And Sequoia's got a view of what's going on right now. Sequoia, what do you have for us? I see you're looking over a gate, and what do you see?
Right now I'm looking south from Mount Mallister due south. Yeah, there's definitely a lower, but it's going to be above the gate. Hopefully the gate is that is due south of Mallister. So I'm really not trying to scare everybody in Pittsburgh County, but they didn't see that, we've been through this before. We take up some precautions and be safe. If I see something, Travis, I'll holler.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. So again, heavy rain, thunderstorm activity just going and a-blowing right now across this area. Let's go back to radar and show you another thing of what's happening. So this is the location from Krebs and then from Richville area. And let's go back up to the north to Vaughn. Vaughn, go ahead.
Yeah, there's your lowering right there. I'm going to have to back up and get out of traffic. There's your lowering right there in front of me. It's just north of Highway 9, right here at 9A and Highway 9. So it's going over the lake right now, and we're going to have to parallel it here on Highway 9. The rain is getting ready to catch up with me.
All right, yeah, we'll get you out of there.
There was a pretty good lowering, very good lowering with it. The winds are starting to pick up now from the southwest. So right there is where that circulation feature is, Travis.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll let you get going so we can get you some better shots here. All right, so that's, let's see, and so Vaughn's right here looking right into this. So that's what he's seeing. So this is a blast of wind coming across the lake right now. We have a little bit of hail associated with it, but mainly a lot of wind, a lot of heavy rain. Those are the two big things. Hail is kind of down here compared to the wind and the hail. So that's, or the wind and the rain. That's the leading edge of that at this particular moment. So it's already gone through Eufaula proper, the city, and then that's continuing to march across the eastern side of the lake, and then that extends back down to around Blocker right now. The storm has already made it through Mallister. If you're in Mallister, even though you have a tornado warning officially still hanging in there, you are kind of clear of that, but it's now east of you, so the circulation is northeast around the Bug Tussle area, and then also just to the east around the Krebs area, to the east of Krebs. So those are the right in this point here on 270. That's like this is one of the points that we look at and go, okay, that's a point. Here's an area from Reams and Bug Tussle. So these are two areas right in here that are, and they're moving northeast. Stacia, do you have another storm track that you can give us?
Yes, I was just going to quickly look at how fast they were moving in the last about 15 minutes. So it's made it about 10 miles in 15 minutes. So that'll be about 40 miles per hour here for those storms. So we'll track it to the northeast at 40, and we'll take it from the Krebs vicinity just east of Mallister up potentially towards Quinton. And so with that track here, that'll make it to Adamson by 101, Blocker by 106, Quinton by 123, Russellville by 120. So that will take it out of eastern Pittsburgh County and get into the western side of Haskell County Trav within the next 30 minutes.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I appreciate that. So again, we're pretty much concerned with that whole line. Any place along that line is just concerning. So we want you to make sure that you are just being very careful as that line moves through, because there's just along that leading edge, there could be a small spin up. And again, it'd be small more than likely, but it doesn't matter. It still would be something that would be quite dangerous. And that's why we want you to make sure that you're taking the precautions that are necessary to be safe. So that we have one active tornado warning at this particular time. We have severe thunderstorm warning now that's been issued on the south side. This will be taking it over Wilburton. This was that cell that was way down to the south. It's going to come up across Pushmataha County and then is coming up there, and then also will be moving into Latimer County. So this is our tornado warning on the east side of Mallister, kind of encompassing 2 circulation features on this. And then you can see where Brandon is near Shakota right now. Let's go to Brandon, get an update from him. Brandon, what do you have in Shakota at this point?
Yeah, Travis, well, right now we've recorded about 35-mile-an-hour winds top end, just some light rain. We're waiting for this line to approach us just a little bit more and see what it has associated with it. But 35 top end winds right now, Travis.
All right, good. Like to keep it there if you can do anything about that. Back to radar for a minute. Bob is up to the north of that, just a little bit farther, and so Bob's catching the northern end of what's going on with this rain and around the Muskogee area, Tallahassee, OK area. Bob, if you would give us an update, what's going on there in Wagner and the Muskogee County areas.
Yeah, we've got a lot of rain going on. There's flooding. Highway 51 had flooding issue up at Coweta. Right now I'm on the Muskogee Turnpike on the east side of Muskogee. Top winds that I measured was 34 miles an hour. We got torrential rain, a lot of lightning, people probably getting woke up, but not encountered any winds that would be in the severe criteria. Back to you, Travis. Thank
you, sir. Appreciate it. Again, thanks to our guys that are out there in the field again tonight covering severe weather. Let's go back down to the south where we have active weather. We've had the rain and the cold weather, Tulsa, but the severe weather still potential across areas to the east. We have a tornado watch for you guys. So just if you're concerned, we'll be with you on it. But here's that line of storms from where Brandon is located, extending now to where Vaughn is located, down to Sequoia. Sequoia should be in some of that heaviest the rain and the tornado warned area. And then you see that heavy rains go all the way down to the south into southern portions of Pittsburgh County with a severe thunderstorm warning there. So Sequoia is into the heavy rains and circulation feature now to the east. And so there's still the Bug Tussle Reams area, and then also right in here around the Carbon Adamson area. And so this is what we're watching when we get into these little indentation areas where that helps show circulation. Strong damaging wind potential goes all the way to south into eastern Pittsburgh County. So this storm is almost through Pittsburgh County at this time. So it doesn't have much longer to go. But again, if you're in Mallister, things have calmed down considerably. Still some rain, thunder, lightning. You see lots of lightning strikes here just in the last few minutes across this area. So we've dropped the original tornado warning. Here's the new tornado warning. And so it's a little bit more centered on the east-northeast sides of Mallister from near Bug Tussle, extending back to the south, and then down to near 270. So here's this, very strong wind indication here of maybe 70 miles an hour or more with that. So embedded in there would be a circulation feature. So we're on the very south end of the lake where that circulation is by Bug Tussle, and then that goes down to the Hartshorn area. So these are the ones that are concerning with us right now. And with anything going on here, hail could be possible. Sequoia, update from you. You getting any hail at this moment? It looks like you should be close to it or in it. He's got a lot of rain. He might be too busy to talk to us. Was he online, Aaron?
He was, but I think his microphone.
Your mic wasn't working either.
I was pushing the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
My brain is
after midnight.
Running on fumes at this point.
Yeah.
But he was, but I think he got into a rough spot, and he kind of cut out.
Okay. Just looking at his video, that looks pretty vicious right in there. That's some heavy, heavy rain. And so we got to let him go anyway because you got to drive careful. So with winds, it's kind of hard to estimate, especially when somebody's driving 40 miles an hour or so, and so it's really hard to get an estimate of wind speeds on what's happening there. Back to radar if you could. So this is a look from a three-dimensional look of what's going on with this line of storm. Station's got this put together for us. So that's coming through, and so along this, I mean, it's a very narrow area, and it is pushing eastward. And so as we're looking at what's going on, the hail core is inside of this, and so it's developing a very good vertical updraft, and we're extenuating that a little bit just to give you a pretty good vision of what it is. But that's kind of an unusually narrow type of storm that's coming across. But that's all associated with this linear setup that we have here from Eufaula and extending back to the south and west. So the storms that are with severe criteria still over Lake Eufaula and east of Eufaula still has some vertical, we'll say, density to it. For the most part, the ones to the south are the ones that are more impressive in terms of the severity of them. So just be advised that these are the ones that are probably going to have more hail and more oomph with them. So we still have, though, some severe weather. Also, as we mentioned before, tornado warning or tornado watches are in effect in advance to this line. So if you're in advance of this line, there's actual tornado watches. So this is going to cover all the way close to Tulsa. And that's why we have Bob that's running across a portion of Muskogee and Wagner County, Cherokee County, because this is going to go all the way until 7 a.m. in the morning before these storms should start to weaken. And then there's another system, the main system still has to come through midday into about 2 o'clock as we go on into our Sunday afternoon. So there's a lot of things still happening. All right, back to the south if we could, and talk about the tornado warning that's down for where Sequoia is located, also now east of McAllister, and the circulation features with this strongest at this point, right near the blocker area. And so this is a high indication of high turbulent area. It's not real tight yet, pretty tight, not super tight, but it's tight enough that you could have a spin up of a tornado right in here. Stacia is working on a storm track, but I can pretty much tell you it's coming in on blocker right now. Good chance that that's going to be blowing and going in your area, Stacia.
That's right. Blocker now, Bristow Point, along with Drum up next. That'll be at 108. So that northeast movement, 40 towards Quinton by 120, Enterprise by 125. Louisville by 130, so I did draw it from that apex and then to the south a little bit with some of those bowing winds. You can get some really strong wind gusts there, but that circulation pretty much over blocker now, right on Highway 31 and Bristow Point as well, then tracking to Quinton and Enterprise, and so that'll be by 120, 125 for Enterprise, 120 for Quinton. Trav?
All right, good point on the blocker because that is a little bit tighter circulation there. There's also a circulation thing up in Longtown that's a little bit more concerning. So that's just barely catching on the very northeast corner there. Vaughn is pretty close to that at this particular moment. I might go up to Vaughn for a minute, but it's really pretty tight right in this zone here. So there's a lot going on. Is Vaughn where he can talk for a second? Hey, Vaughn, can you give me an update? What do you have right now?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Travis, this one is wrapping up. It's very, very clear when the lightning strikes that we have a lowering, and it looked like I could actually almost see like a cut behind it. So I think it's wrapping up right now. It's to my north. I can't get a good view of it right now, but I'm going to try to go over the dam. I'll probably get a pretty good view, but it's going towards Dutchess Creek Marina, Dutchess Landing, that area.
All right. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So again, with what we're looking at this time, we're on the north side of a tornado warning, but it's also a severe thunderstorm warning, and we're in a tornado watch. So we just want you to be careful in this whole zone. And so you see where Vaughn is driving at this particular moment. Also, let's go back to radar right now and get kind of an update so you can see where Vaughn is. And so this is the line, and so he's going to be coming across and trying to get across the dam and then getting off to the east toward Enterprise, Texana, excuse me, and then extending on up to Dutchess Landing. So very turbulent through this whole area. Fortunately, so far, nothing is showing up as far as tornadic, any debris or anything, and nothing is showing up as a super tight circulation. But this is about as tight as it gets right now for us, and so that's marginal. But it goes all the way now to east of Canadian Fork, just to the west of Enterprise. So if you're in these areas, got to keep an eye on the sky, and then get ready to move to a place of safety, and eye on Channel 6 as well. And then back to the south near Blocker, that's still very tight. Yes.
Sequoia is back now. He's got quarter-size hail or bigger and really strong winds.
All right, Sequoia, if you're with me, give me an update while you got a chance before you get in trouble again with the strong winds catching up with you. What do you have?
Well, they caught up with me, Travis. I'm coming to Hartsville right now. We got quarter-size hail at least, and winds going from south to north toward probably inflow into that upper circulation right now. So it's definitely a severe storm. Like I said, I can't really see anything. If you can see it in my video, it's hard to see the road, much less the sky. So we're going to try to get back in front of it and get back with you, Trav.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. So again, be careful. And that's just a lot of rain. Let's go to radar for a minute. You see he's just kind of getting hammered right now at Hartshorn, and that's near Centerville. And so this is a whole line of storms. And so the circulation features are still along this, and that's why the tornado warning continues in effect. You can see the Blocker area. Anytime we have this, that tightening up or wrapping around here, there's still a good reason to have a tornado warning associated with this around Blocker. And that will be moving up toward Quinton area. So this has to look pretty impressive. Again, once you get in southeast Oklahoma, we've got hills, we've got trees, we've got beautiful country, but we also have difficulty. It's not beautiful when you're a storm tracker because it's harder to see anything. That's the biggest thing. But Blocker right now is where we have the strongest winds circulation feature. So this is a rotating area at this particular moment, bulging out. So we should have some winds 60, 70 miles an hour potential with this near Blocker, in Blocker right now, moving up toward the Russellville area. And Stacia's working on a storm track for us. She'll have that for us in a second. But again, this is an area of concern right now. And that's why we have our tornado warning that is in effect. Stacia, what do you have?
Travis, tracking up towards Quinton, like we mentioned, Vaughn in the track here on Highway 9, Hughart, Whitefield, Briartown, and Porham. So take a look. This is northeast, still tracking at about 40. Russellville by 116. Quinton still about 120, 121. Enterprise 124. Hoyt by 132. Whitefield by 135. In Latimer County, Trav, we have the sirens going off for Robbers Cave State Park and Bowers and Gowan as well as the storms are coming in. Folks camping at Robbers Cave State Park need to take shelter from this.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. So again, yeah, it's a weekend for Easter. A lot of folks are hoping to have a nice spring, quiet weekend. Not going to be the case. So you see where Sequoia is located, and then with the turbulent atmosphere that we have going on at Blocker to west of Quinton. So this is going to be probably a lowering that is going to show up if you're close by there. And so we would like you to be very careful with this particular cell and make sure that you're in a safer place just in case. So that's moving up toward the Quinton area. Back further, and you see where Vaughn is located just to the north of that. And so right along that leading edge, that's where we're watching. And you just see, in fact, just looking at the green and reds, you can tell those are winds going in opposite directions. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what we're looking at. And we call it storm relative velocity because it's taking into consideration how fast the storms are moving as well as pretty much the wind. And so you got a whole bunch of things going on, but it's putting it together helps us out. And then Brandon is up around the Shakota area. Brandon, I haven't talked to you for a minute. Give me a quick update if you would. What's going on? It looks like you're by some gusty winds as well. What do you have?
Travis, we're at mile marker 271 here on I-40, busting east. We're going to try to get out ahead of this main line to look back off to our southwest as this potential broad circulation that Vaughn's talking about is moving up our direction. So right now, it's just some very, I'd say probably moderate rainfall, and estimating our winds into the storm about 25. Back to you.
All right, thanks. So yeah, that must be just right behind you then. All right, back to radar again, and you'll be able to see how the winds are blowing, coming across. So Brandon's right ahead of that at this particular moment. So that's the leading edge of the winds field. Still a lot of lightning behind it, but these are the stronger winds that are just literally right behind him. And so that extends down to Dutchess Landing, down to Texana, and that's part of that leading edge. And a little bit further north, we still have moderate to heavy rainfall, gusty winds with this. So there's a lot of water. Bob is now over on the east side of Muskogee. Bob, quick update from you. You getting any winds? I know you're getting a ton of rain. Anything associated with winds?
No, not really. In fact, right now, let me look. Winds are about 7, 8, 9 miles an hour where I'm at.
Nice.
I'm at Fort Gibson. But we still got a lot of rain coming down here in the area. So I'm just kind of waiting for this next line to come up from the southwest. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, Aaron?
They just made that segment of the Bob storm severe.
I did. Okay. So that's a new severe thunderstorm warning coming up for that storm. So it's and so there are some strong winds associated with that, and so we'll have that going on. Sirens sounding in Bowers, Gowan, Roberts Cave. You said from 10 minutes ago. So down to the south, we got strong winds. We have pretty strong winds up on the north side too. So that's kind of interesting. All the different places that have some issues going on. It's right along that leading edge between unstable air here that's on the east side, and then also the rain-cooled air coming in from the west, and that pretty much energy. And there's energy up above. So that's what's causing the problem. So a new severe thunderstorm warning now. That'll catch southeastern portions of Mays County, and then extreme, really Wagner County, you're pretty much clearing out right at this point. It's more Cherokee County and extreme east-northeast portions of Muskogee County, and then that's going to extend over to Adair County and southern Delaware County. So we've got a lot of things going on to the north, so that's why Bob's in the middle of it, basically. So he'll have to move east with that, and then new warning now for the southern side. So we're just filled this all in. National Weather Service just filling this all in because these are all very windy storms. And so this is the one. Brandon's now has a severe thunderstorm warning on it for eastern portions of McIntosh County and the southeastern and eastern portions of Muskogee County. So eastern Muskogee County, eastern McIntosh County, winds, strong winds 60 miles an hour or more, and then back down from Texana and then extending back down through Pittsburgh County. That's where we continue with our tornado warning on the east side of Pittsburgh County now, and the stronger winds are going to be pushing off from Blocker. We're already up to near Russellville, and so we'll get another update from Station on Storm Track. Vaughn is literally just right close to that. Hey Vaughn, if you're with me, can you see what's going on to your south with that? Because you're kind of getting into what could be a kind of interesting scenario there for you.
I've got really high winds right here. I'm getting ready to go over across the dam. You follow the dam. I had a lowering with it, but of course this terrain is horrible. I thought I might be able to get a good look at it right here over top across the dam.
Okay.
Flashes or nothing like that, but we got strong winds.
All right, thanks, appreciate it. So again, Vaughn is just near the dam at Lake Eufaula, and so that's what he's watching right now. And those winds are very strong down there in Blocker, and so you can tell that from a storm tracker perspective, not much as far as ability to see much because you got a bunch of trees. And so that's where Vaughn is located right now from Canadian Fork. This is his location. Here's the strong winds, and Stacia has the latest on what's going on with that, Stacia.
That has picked up speed. That's moved 15 miles in 15 minutes. Wow. So that has really picked up speed. So that's northeast now at almost 60. Just again, last 15 minutes really picked it up. So that's going to track towards Enterprise here by 120. And you can see here just updated again. Eufaula Dam by 125, Whitefield by 130, Porham by 130 as well, and Stigler by 135. So those strong winds coming up to Enterprise, to Hoyt, and again, really picking up speed there, moving to the northeast. Now, the tornado warning includes the western side of Haskell County, so that does include Kinta, but it looks like the circulation feature that's the strongest is going to stay northwest of Kinta and even northwest of Quinton. So Quinton, your strong winds are coming into town now, but that circulation is just up to your northwest. You're getting more of the bowing part of that. And then down to Robbers Cave State Park, the strong winds are going to be coming in here in the next few minutes, almost up to State Highway 2 here very shortly, Trav.
All right. Just took a drink right when you said Trav.
Sorry.
Okay. Hey, so this station's saying moving fast. So that means there's going to be some wind damage potential with that. We don't know if they will continue with the tornado warning or not, but it still is it looks still bad enough that we could continue to see that for a while longer. We've had this new severe thunderstorm warning, or a couple of them, as we said, that have been issued to the north, to the south. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you were with us about an hour ago, hour and a half, 2 hours ago, you had a lot of tornado warnings. This is the only one that is active right now in our area. Further south, there are severe thunderstorms as well, but it's not quite what it was before. So this is kind of picking up and lifting and pulling up to the east, northeast. Still in an environment that is favorable for the possibility of tornadoes and the twisting of winds, and it's right along a leading edge. So we basically say this is linear. Because you can see it just extends very smoothly. It's not a storm here, and storm there. So that is one of the reasons why we just have to watch along the leading edge for these areas where they'll bulge out, and then all of a sudden you get a spinning mechanism going on, or it starts to spin a little bit more and enhances the spin, and then all of a sudden you have a tornado. So that's why we have to stay on this, because it's not a needle in a haystack, but it is very difficult because they happen very fast. It's not like something that's big structure that you can see happening for a long time. To the north, we actually have severe thunderstorm warnings that will extend to the Arkansas border. And so this is really, catching a huge area. And we can talk to Bob for a minute. He's right behind that leading wind line right now. Hey, Bob, are you on the move at this? Yeah, it looks like you're on the move right now. Are you headed eastbound? It looks like you're going to catch up with that line here in just a minute. How strong are your winds? Can you tell?
Actually, I've caught up to it. I'm about on the leading edge. I noticed a minute ago, again, we're getting gusts to about 40 right when I caught up to the leading edge. I still think the strongest winds are north of me, going to be up closer to Tahlequah and a little bit north. So I'm trying to get up that way. Still torrential rain. Flooding issues going on. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And so that's what we're seeing right now. Look at that line. And so that gives us a good idea of what's happening. So that goes all the way. And so this is going to curve over 51. And it's just really a solid line. And so that's continuing to rapidly move to the east. See, and things like this is up north of Lost City. Those are little couplet things. So that's what we look for. And that's what we're watching, just to make sure, because there's a very fine little area right in there. And so that's when you kind of start getting a little spinning mechanism going on. And so the atmosphere, I'm super glad it's not May. Because if it was, and temperatures were in the 80s in advance of that, and we had strong south winds, things like this would turn into tornadoes very fast. So we're pretty lucky, pretty fortunate as far as that's concerned. But unfortunately, we're not totally out of the woods yet. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for this area. This green indicates a flood warning. So there's a lot of things going on. You got the flood warning, you've got the severe thunderstorm warning, and you have a tornado watch, which just means you got to watch out for a possibility of a tornado. And so that means that even though we have a thunderstorm warning, you can get an isolated tornado to form. So that's why we're going to continue to monitor here for a while longer. And so that's moving in through the western parts of Cherokee County. So that's the strong winds right there. And that extends, and you see where Bob's right on that edge at this point now. So that's got to go over the lake. So if you have friends or family camping out at the lake, doesn't look super bad right now, but that line of storms is headed their way as well. So that's another big issue. Stacia, if you could give us a storm track on this whole leading edge, that'd be probably good for folks to kind of get an idea of what they're going up against. So again, as you're looking at what's happening here, heavy rains. We kind of get a break once you get in western Wagner County. Then we have more rain going on in Tulsa, and that's the last thing we really want right now. If you're west of Tulsa, you get rain, it's probably a great deal for you. But anyway, Stacia, what do you have?
All right, Trav, so we're going to track this to the northeast, and as it tracks through Cherokee County, this puts it towards Gabriel by 122. Again, that leading edge of strong wind here. Pegs by 123, Gideon by 126, and then also just another vantage point with this storm track. That would take it to Tahlequah by 130. So again, strong winds coming in, moving in northeast at about 45 to 50. But as that kind of has a lift to the northeast, Trav, instead of more of a due easterly movement.
All right, and that line also National Weather Service, just looking at some of their information, what they're talking about. And they're pretty much saying just what we just said just a moment ago. This is now in an unstable environment, which means that circulation features are going to become a little bit more likely, kind of similar to what was going on down in Mallister, Pittsburgh County. So that's a possibility up here. That's what we're seeing a little bit, that this line is pretty solid, but yet we're seeing some of those indentations, so to speak, along the linear front of that. So we've got the warning, and we have, again, within the thunderstorm warning, you can have an isolated tornado risk. So that's why we're going to watch you in Cherokee County. So don't worry about it, but just be aware we're going to keep an eye and see what's going on. Bob's there. He'll help us out. Let's go back to the south a little bit more and show you that we do have our severe thunderstorm still around the areas in really eastern portion of McIntosh County. This is southern Muskogee County. So this part of that line of strong winds. And Brandon, I think he's still, let's see, Brandon's still moving eastbound, looks like. So we'll wait until we get a shot and he can turn around and get a shot of what that looks like. But there'll be some winds here, probably about 50 miles an hour. Maybe up to 60. It's a warning, so we do anticipate some wind gusts could be in excess of 60 miles an hour there. Back to the south with our tornado warned storm. Vaughn is now kind of at the, I wouldn't say the apex of that storm, but he's right on it at this point. Hey, Vaughn, I'm going to come back to you. Can you give me an update? Because that system is just literally to your south and southwest. What do you see?
9. I got cut off by a closed road, so I'm having to backtrack, which is not good for a storm tractor. But yeah.
Oh, lost him. Hang on, we lost you.
Right on the back.
You're cutting in and out. I'm going to give you just a few more seconds here and see if you can get. Were you able just to see anything, any lowering?
Too much heavy rain right now.
Okay.
I will be able to see a little bit more here in about 5 minutes.
All right.
Back to you.
We'll be back to you too. All right. Fair enough. All right. So again, so Vaughn has to make a move, and so this is right in here. Strong winds all along this edge. Still haven't had our tornado warning in effect right in here for, again, very high velocity type of winds that are showing up here. So anything right in here is going to be turbulent. We don't have anything that's a super tight gradient at this moment, but we do have enough that Vaughn's in a good area to see it, if he can, through the rain. Stacia, what do you have on this? What is happening with this now?
This is still moving to the northeast at about 45, 50. It's still moving very quickly. And as it does so, then it's going to take it out of the warning polygon and continue off to the east from there. This is also kind of up to the north here with the line of storms in Cherokee County, but down to the south where he was just talking about and Vaughn was located, that kind of apex area southwest of Porham, that's going to continue northeast at about 45 to 50, and so we'll track it up towards where Brandon's located, maybe even the Gore area, and that would take it to Porham by 131, Gore closer to 150, Carlisle by 152, Highway 10 Landing around 153. So again, that's what we're watching in terms of the tornado warning. It's almost out of that polygon. We'll see if the National Weather Service extends the polygon or if they go with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado tag.
All right. Again, very active pattern going on with what's happening. So the good news is some folks down in really southern Oklahoma, they're not having to worry about severe weather, so happy for them. Unfortunately, we still have quite a bit to go through. I also mentioned Easter still has that threat of severe weather, and there's even a couple of new tornado warnings showing up down near Ardmore again, or Marietta. Unbelievable that's happening, but that's kind of like recharging in that zone. And after we look at here's where we're concerned. So this is kind of the end of the tornado warning. The National Weather Service has extended a severe thunderstorm warning now. And so we're just going to wait and see if we find anything else that shows up along this leading edge that is going to be wrapped up, which is possible. And so right now it's just a line of thunderstorms with some big time rain and a lot of lightning on some of these storms. Not all the storms are having lightning. Some of our guys were mentioning that the lightning strikes weren't all that impressive. So we do think the tornado warning will probably be replaced with this severe thunderstorm warning. It's just kind of right on the edge of it at this point. So this is still noteworthy. and then this leading edge all the way down to the south to where Sequoia is located, still very strong. Is Vaughn back into a better spot where he can give me an update or not?
Vaughn, are you in a better spot?
We are getting an update right now from Mr. Aaron, and you can tell us. He is? Okay. Hey, Vaughn. Okay, let's talk to Vaughn for a second. Okay, what do you have right now?
Yeah, I see structure, Travis. The rain. He's just probably about 6 miles.
Aaron, do you want to interpret that? Hey, hang on, Vaughn. I'm going to have Aaron interpret that for me because you were cutting in and out. We're gonna.
He's getting on 9 and heading back east now.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to get the estimate of wind speed. Can you see if he's got? See what he's got. We'll wait till he gets some better cell coverage. So.
He said where he's at, they're not currently very high.
Okay.
30.
Why can he talk to you and it sounds clear, and then he talks to me and he doesn't want to
It's still cutting out.
It is, okay.
I'm just able to make it out.
Right. Apparently I was getting jealous. Anyway, again, shower and thunderstorm activity continues just across that line of the tornado warning. And so we'll see how this plays out for a little bit longer. But the whole line is now pretty solid. You can kind of see how it's just pretty much running the whole distance here. And so that's why let's go down to where Sequoia is and get an update from him. We haven't really talked a whole lot here for a little bit about what's happening in western Latimer County. And so he's in Wilburton. Sequoia, you obviously got ahead of that line of thunderstorms. What's going on right now as you look back at it?
Travis, just got a measurement of 32.1 miles an hour wind, and that's going to be right in front of this line. I'm pointing back towards the west here and Wilburton. So I came through a lot of extremely, I would call it Maytag rain. I mean, rain coming from every direction. Quarter-sized hail with this, so it's definitely a severe storm, and that leading edge can definitely spin something up really quick. So we're going to keep an eye on it and all night long. So back to you, Travis.
All right, I appreciate it. Yep, and so that line continues to track to the east-northeast, and a lot of things happening along it as far as gusty winds, low clouds. If you're scared, it's not a super bad situation right now, so we don't want you to be worried about it too much. It's just one of those times where it's just a line of thunderstorms. Some are severe, and it's spring, and so that's what we're dealing with right now. But there could be some hail associated with this right now. Looks like it's moving around the Chile area. Chile, love that. And there's an area called Snow down here as well. But bug tussle is still one of my favorites. As we look at what's happening here, there will be a few areas of hail in several different locations, but the wind's going to be very strong right along that leading edge. And with that tornado warning, and you can see this right here from Porham to the south, and then Vaughn is kind of in there. He had to kind of slow down because he had to go backtrack a little bit, otherwise he'd probably be right along that leading edge. That is still kind of something we have to watch. Brandon probably has a good shot now. Hey, Brandon, can you give us an update from your location, what that looks like to your west? Any lowering, any shelf cloud? What's happening there?
Well, Travis, it's still off in the distance out of our camera's view. I can probably zoom in a little bit here. As the lighting illuminates it, you can kind of start to see we're looking back off towards the due west. You might be able to see a little bit of the cloud structure there. It's very flat, not seeing anything that's really just sticking out. It looks like this is turning into maybe a big squall line, and it's still off in the distance there. We're getting some light rain. Our winds are about 10 to 15. So we'll continue to watch it and see what it does as it makes its way east, Travis.
All right. I appreciate it very much. Thanks. And then Bob, we're going to find out where's Bob and what does Bob have for us right now up in Cherokee County. Bob, what do you have?
Hey, right now I'm in front of the line. I'm on the south side of Tahlequah, but the interesting part of this, when I came through Muskogee, it was 54. It's 65 right now. So that warm air is coming up here into Cherokee County, and that's just going to give these storms a little bit more energy when they come up here, I think. So we'll watch. I'm a little bit ahead of the line right now. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. So that's Bob. He's on the north side of the storms and in Cherokee County. So if you are in areas east of this line, we still have that tornado watch if you're just joining us, waking up because of the severe weather. So we'll do a broader picture if you could for us.
They're going to keep the tornado warning.
They are going to keep it? Okay.
For this area southeast of Enterprise.
Okay. And so if we're doing that, so the warning will continue for a little bit longer then. So we're looking at area, so around Briartown, that's a little bit of a kink in there. So that's of concern. And so any place along the line is, and so you can see right in here. So that's past the tornado warning anyway. So we got to drop that part. And so we still have strong winds coming in over Kinta at this hour and then back off to the south a little bit. So you can see what's happening here in western portions of Haskell County. And so that's still very turbulent all the way down now. So that goes into central, almost central Latimer County. And so we have that one active tornado warning. And we didn't know if they were going to extend it or if they were going to continue with it as far as and turn it on over to a severe thunderstorm warning. So this will still be for anywhere from Latimer County through central Haskell County, and then to eastern and southeastern Muskogee County, about 50, 60. I haven't seen anything to change mind on anything else as far as that's concerned. Sequoia is right now near that storm coming back in. Sequoia, one more update from you from down there by Wilburton. What do you have as you're looking at that to your west?
Yeah, Travis, we're getting the winds. The highest gust I have is 36.1. The radar's showing some hail just to the west of us. And it's like Bob was saying, as I move from the rain, just in front of the rain, my whole windshield fogs up, everything fogs up. Humidity is a lot higher right in front of it. So it definitely has a lot of juice to work with. We're going to keep an eye on it. Back to you, Travis.
All right. Hey, and direction of wind with those 30-mile-an-hour winds, what do you get? What direction are those coming out of? I see Old Glory there.
They're coming from, I'm pointing to the southwest, and she's moving, I would say, more east to west.
Okay. So east to west, you mean a west wind? Kind of you're looking southwest.
Yes, sir.
Kind of more of a west wind. Okay.
Yeah, west.
Okay.
West to east. My apologies.
Okay, got it. All right, thanks. All right, so that's just kind of blowing in on them as they speak, or as he speaks down there in Wilburton. All right, back to radar. So here's the tornado warning area still, and then Vaughn is right on that edge now, so he's getting really close to the leading edge of that. Vaughn, are you getting very strong winds at this point with that? Looks like he is. Vaughn, you there? Aaron, he doesn't want to talk to me again.
It shows that he's online. He might not be able to hear you.
Yes.
Oh, there he
I'm
is.
here.
Okay. Hey.
It took me a while to get my mute off. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have caught up with the strong winds. Let me get a measurement real quick here. So right here, Whitefield, we're getting about 40-mile-an-hour gusts here.
Okay.
I just stopped to get a reading. So pretty strong. I'm going to continue on 9 towards Stigler as this thing moves to the east. But, yeah, pretty strong winds. I mean, so far, not severe to me, but I know there's severe winds in here somewhere.
All right. Yeah, and that's a good point. I want to make sure folks don't get too overly rattled about it right now because there isn't anything super wild. But there are some areas where there's some a little bit stronger winds in a few areas. But I do think that we're in pretty good so far, knock on wood, we're in pretty good shape at this minute. Stacia's been watching that line of storm. Stacia, any updates on that line and what's going on?
I have a track on the line, and it's moving northeast at 60, which makes you think, oh, it's going so fast. But that eastward push is slow because the line's going northeast. So it's going to be still ongoing for a while as we head through the rest of our overnight hours. But with this line here, just going to kind of clean it up a bit for you. But this is going to take it over towards 10 Killer Lake by 150, Gore by 137, Weber's Falls also around 137, Stigler by 145. And even though the storms are just out to your west, again, they're moving to the northeast very quickly by 10 Killer Lake, or by Ann, I should say, by 155. So winds are going to come in here to Stigler pretty soon, but it's a northeast movement at 60.
Wow, those are flying then. So they've got it going on that part. Hey, and down to the south, there is just around, pretty much, I would say, just right at what's just east of east of Porham, near a small area of Sims. Kind of was watching that. There's some really seemingly some strong winds that are just off the surface that are about 60 miles an hour, 70. If you, yeah, there you go. And so just right in this area, we're keeping an eye on it. And so we're staying on the air right now just in case something happens for a little bit longer. As long as we have tornado warning, we'll stay on the air. So this is a little bit tighter right in here, and you'll see that this area right here just moves almost due north. So what's happening is that's getting pushed out while this is also pushing it back up to the north. And so we're seeing it right along this line. So there's quite a bit of turbulence that have just moved through the Browardton area and Whitefield. And now that's past Porham and now off to the east from the Sims area. So that's right where Brandon is. Brandon, if you would, give me an update on what that's looking like just to your south and southwest. What do you have right now? Brandon, sorry.
Yeah, Travis, I couldn't tell you were going to. Yep, so the shot that you're looking at is pointed to the southwest. Very ominous, scary-looking clouds at most. Still watching that area very closely that you were talking about towards Form. Not seeing anything from our vantage point right now, Travis, but we're in a good spot. If anything does happen, we'll let you know.
All right. Yeah, because that's moving up on you pretty quick, and there is some pretty good winds with that. Looks like it'll be just to your south, but those winds are kicking it, and they're moving east-northeast. So that's been through the Porham area and Browardton, and now through the small area of Sims, headed on over to Tamaha and Weber's Falls. So those are kind of an area that we're going to watch a little bit on the south side. Further to the north, Bob has been watching what's going on up around the Tahlequah area. And Bob, if you have a little bit of information, you'd like to know what's cooking up there in Tahlequah.
Hey, Travis. Right now, very light rain going on here. I'm still a little bit ahead of the line, not by very much. It's going to be moving into Tahlequah in the next few minutes. Looks like the winds up on this end maybe have dropped off some, so maybe we're getting to the point where the northern end of this is turning into rain event. Back to you, Travis.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, that's good news. Cherokee County, you already got the Illinois River that wants to overflow, so we don't need to do that too much. But we're looking at probably a total of another 1.5 inches of rain before Cherokee County sees the rain ending. So it's kind of a big deal. What's going on there? Stacia, you said you have a few power outage update?
There are a few showing up now in, let's see, McIntosh County. There's 124 customers. And then over in Okfuskee County, there's 129. Of course, Hughes County, there's almost 500. Pontotoc County, there's almost 2,000. So those areas were hit really hard today. 12,000 in Johnston County and Marshall County, 1,600. So down in south central Oklahoma, a lot more power outages. And these numbers could go up as the morning continues on.
Yeah, you almost said
as the night. It's morning.
It's morning. Yeah, we're out of our safety zone, so to speak. Okay, and then right along that, I was looking along that leading edge around just west of Leach. It doesn't look too bad. I would like to go along that leading edge if we could, up to the north and northern Cherokee County, and also up around the Rose area, Salina, and if we could. So this is the area from Lake Hudson, and then that extends over to the Rose, and then back on down Lowry. And are you on SRX or INX? Okay, let's do INX. And then, so this is going to be the winds. The wind flow is going to be the strongest, just coming through Rose right now, Lowry, and then down to Ellerville. And it's already through Gideon. So that should be about 40, 45 mile an hour winds. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning for you guys, but so far not too bad. And I want to point out how few lightning strikes. Bob mentioned this a little bit ago at Tahlequah. So that is not too bad. And that's why Bob was just saying, hey, it's really not doing too bad. So we'll see if we continue with this part of the warning or not. It was looking pretty strong, but as it's pulled to the east fairly rapidly, we haven't seen any indication of any turbulence that is impressive. And then back to the south along this line. So we'll continue down toward the Lake 10 Killer area. And you can see that we have winds in here. It's not super impressive. And then you get down to Brandon. It's right where the storm is just starting to get to Brandon literally at this moment. And Brandon, are you getting any strong winds right now? Because it's literally just right on you.
Travis, our anemometer is just reading 25 mile an hour winds. So still nothing substantial yet. The rain has picked up. The lightning has increased a little bit, but the winds have yet to really hit us right now, Travis.
Right.
They're probably somewhere in there for sure.
All right. Nobody's complaining. A lot better that way than any other way. Okay, back radar again if we could. And so from Brandon, that line continues back to the south, and the velocity data down in here, they were going to extend the tornado warning?
No, they kept it.
They just kept it. Okay.
For another circulation.
Okay. So right now, that's about it right now on the circulation features, because it's very, very limited. It's near the Kinta area, so that the warning Vaughn's right in it again.
There's also another pocket up by Pettit.
Okay. Hey, yeah, let's go up to that then. Oh yeah, there it is. Good catch. So this is now showing up on both radars, so that's good. So this is one of those indentations. This is a little bit tighter. So we're getting now, this is something of noteworthy. Let's see, who do we have in that area? We have Bob just to the north, a little bit. Tell Bob to be watching out. If he wants to come south a little bit toward maybe just heading south a little bit on the highway, that might be a good idea. So that's just south of Zeb right now. So that's tightened up a circulation feature a little bit. So this is the winds coming in here. This is the winds coming here. So we've got a little bit tighter couplet right in there. Stacey, you want to give a storm track just for folks so they know what we're talking about right there.
And the winds in Tahlequah picked up a little bit too. Now some gusts to 25 out of the southeast, but that's going to track up to the northeast, probably at about 45. Kind of that's just the pace of some of these circulations tonight, or the speed of some of these circulations. Of course, they can speed up, they can slow down, but I'm going to track it at about 45, and that'll take it through central Cherokee County up to the northeast. In Tahlequah, we're going to watch that really close, because if that's more northeast than my track here, that could take it into Tahlequah. I'll just kind of update it for you. But Keys by 150, Park Hill by 154, and 10 Killer 157, Tailholt by 2 a.m. So that would potentially bring it into central parts of Cherokee County.
All right. And so, yeah, it's very turbulent right in that zone. You got Bob going down to Park Hill?
Based on the highway he's currently on, if he were to turn around, he would, by the time he got to the highway there, it would be past him.
Okay.
So he's going to stay on 51 and see if it holds together and gets to him there.
Okay. All right. Let's we'll see where that goes then. So hopefully, as Stacia said, that we won't really run it into anything, but it has created quite a it's a bit of a notch. So that's why we're going to keep watching that one. And there's also one a little bit further south on the tail end a tad bit. So here's Qualls area, and then back, and this is where the stronger winds are located. So again, that's getting ready to move over Lake 10 Killer. So if you have friends that are camping, you might tell them, hey, kind of a big deal as far as winds. They're heading your way. Hopefully you're going to get into a little bit safer place. And then down here at Paradise Hill, This is at Notchtown and then Gore. So this is where there's a little bit more going on right in here. So there's a little bit of a pivot axis point right in here, comma head, sort of. So that's part of that stronger wind too that was trying to come through. Hey, Brandon, any change on the wind going on?
No. Still steady state. Surprisingly, we're about to move east here along 40 and see if that changes, but still 20 to 25. Very unusual. Back to you.
Okay. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. So that leading edge of winds not doing much, and that's really good to hear. Stigler just had a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust, 49.5. We'll round it up. So, but the winds continuing to go right along that leading edge. What do we got? We've also have roads flooded, closed. Where is that? Okmulgee County from Emergency Management between Smith Road and Celia Berry Hill Road, closed both directions due to flash flooding. A lot of water. And McIntosh County, roadway flooding noted across the county. So if it isn't wind or hail or an isolated tornado, it's going to be too much water, too much flooding happening at this time. Take a look at some of these numbers. Some pretty big numbers showing up now. And so we're pushing 3.5 inches Okmulgee. And in some of these red areas will be about 4 inches. So this is just continuing to drop rain. And we did pick up quite a bit out west. So just while we've been on the air for 2 or 3 hours, I think we picked up about 3/4 of an inch or more. But the east, I mean, this is a tremendous amount of water that has fallen in a pretty big chunk of the area. And if you stop to think, a lot of thunderstorms just kind of pass through and they'll move 50 miles an hour and you'll get an inch of rain, maybe an inch and a half. And then that's about it, unless you just hit the storms just right. These are training over the same area, and so that's been our biggest problem. And if you notice, it's kind of like this is the roadway right here for heavy rain. Here was another roadway for heavy rain, so it went down from Oklahoma City and then back on up to the northwest sides of Tulsa. So that gives you a nice idea of how not to drive tonight, and especially on secondary roads and low water crossing areas. Don't do it. Turn around, don't drown. Try to stay someplace safer just to be on the safe side, because we do have low water crossings, a lot of those in Cherokee County and some in Muskogee County and McIntosh County. But so if you're in any of these areas, it's not worth the danger, not worth the risk. And some of the worst scenarios play out at night or early morning when you have no perception because of darkness and water and rain, and you can't see and you can't tell what's going on over the road. It's just best to just wait it out. All right, so that's the rain. Here's the line of thunderstorms. Hey, if we could, let's zoom out and use big time reflectivity or national reflectivity. I want to show the storm or Oklahoma City. So this is still, it's kind of like we're going like great. Anyway, on Easter, coming up here in a little bit, which it officially is Easter, happy Easter. This is the upper level low out here. And so there's actually some rain in New Mexico, which they haven't had much of. But this thing is getting picked up and pulled north. And I want to point out there's a tornado warning again around Ardmore. So even though we've had that line of storms and tornadoes come through, and that's what's up here, then here's this. It's like, what is that doing? Well, that's just because that's all that warm, moist air still pumping into this, and that's why we're having those issues. So as that continues to push up, that's getting hit into this main part of the storm that's wrapped up here and now starting to push a wave of a line of severe thunderstorms across Texas. And then that's going to continue to move up across our area, because this low is literally going to track up and go up into Kansas. And so that's just going to suck up all this moisture. And so that's why it's not going to quit raining yet. And that's why there's a lot of potential for some pretty nasty flooding. So we have bad flooding, and it could even get to nasty. I don't know if that's the next meteorological level up or not, Stacia, but that's what I have. All right, so that's what we see right now. Let's go over to Stacia and get another update. Stacia, what do you have on that line? It looks like it's moving, and we're getting away from tornado warnings, but as soon as we go off the air, I'm sure something will happen. What do you have?
They're still moving fast. The line is moving to the northeast at about 60, kind of just the general track of the entire line, but it's more of a northeast movement here. So as we track it, I'm going to take it from southwestern parts of Delaware County through central Cherokee County, all the way down into Haskell County, Stigler area, which Stigler, of course, that 49-mile-per-hour gust with the storms that came through. So hopefully we can get this moving here to 10 killer by 150, Eldon by 150 as well, Garland by 151. I'm going to do a few tweaks to this track to include a few more locations. Jay by 2 o'clock, Salisaw by 2:07, Salem Springs by 2:08. So again, this is the entire line from Delaware County through Cherokee County down to where Brandon is located in far western Sequoia County, and then down in Haskell County, Vaughn, over by the Stigler area. So there's going to be strong winds. We're watching for any circulations that we may see along that leading edge, and we're watching that really closely. It looks like the Pettit area kind of dodged a bullet. Looks like that's not as concerning as it looked just a few minutes ago. And so again, that line's moving fast, Trav, northeast at 60.
Wow. All right, thanks. I appreciate that. We've adjusted that northern end of that severe thunderstorm warning. We have cleared all of Wagner County out of the severe thunderstorm warning because obviously that's well to the east of it. We still have the tornado watch until 7 o'clock in the morning, but the severe thunderstorm warning, which had been in effect in Wagner, has now been canceled, pushed out. Still in Cherokee County, still severe thunderstorms all along this leading edge. So there's a lot of rain, thunder, lightning going on with this. Is this out of our INX? Okay. And so it's still, you can see all this rain coming still up across the Tulsa area. So that hasn't quit. And then we'll have these other storms that'll be coming up. So it'll be raining on your Easter morning. It is officially early Easter morning. I guess we could say at 1:50 in the morning. But this will be probably the biggest problem we have is keeping track of where these storms, as they move off to the east and get into, I'd say, still unstable air. We'll still have these severe storms probably all the way through to the Arkansas border, which we're getting pretty close at this point. And you see, again, these types of circulation, little features, or little eddies that are right here. We'll see what it looks like on Twin Lakes. On Twin Lakes, INX. And so that's right along the leading edge. This is going to be the stronger winds in here. So that's just continuing down to the Oaks now and down around Scraper area. And so it's east of Allerville. Notice there's no indentations along there that indicate any circulation highlights or features. And then that goes down now past Tahlequah. Bob's right there. Let's get an update from Bob then, since he's right there. We need to test that out. Bob, what do you have? What's going on? Winds, rain? What do you have?
Yeah, I'm down here where that one circulation was coming through the area, south of the Park Hill area here on Highway 82. Winds have been about 25 at times, very heavy rainfall, but I think the circulation broadened out a little bit. It's not as concentrated as it was a few minutes ago, but it's a good thing I drive a boat at the other job. Back to you, Travis.
Good point. Good point. Grand Lake GRDA appreciates you too. I know that. Yeah, at least you have knowledge of how to get around. And you're near Lake 10 Killer, so that's good. So he's coming up on, looks like near Keys area. So he's just past Park Hill down to near Keys. So this is the, he just drove right through that. And so that has come up across the area. So that is, again, minor compared to what it could have been. He said he has 20, 25 mile an hour winds. So what I think we'll do, let's go ahead along this line, station a little bit, and then we're going to take a break if we don't see anything else, because we're going to continue to watch what's happening. I mean, again, there's just a little, that's that little area that came up that we were just talking about. So that's just east of Tahlequah, west of Briggs area. Let's go back to the south and take a look down around Lake 10 Killer and then extending back down. So not much lightning. It seems like these have kind of dropped off in intensity, which is great. And then all the way to the south. These have been under severe thunderstorm warnings for quite a while. And then you look all the way down past Stigler. That's where Vaughn is located now. Hey, Vaughn, let's get an update from you while we got a chance. We see you. Any information about what's going on between Keota and Stigler?
Well, I just got ahead of it, and so I'm kind of waiting on the winds to catch up with me. I'm looking at something to my north, and I think that's the area that Brandon was watching. That had a little bit of circulation with it. There was some kind of appendage, but there's no way that's a tornado on the ground up there right now. But it's interesting feature to look at. So far, the winds have not got to me. As soon as they do, I will block them and get back with you.
All right. Yeah, and it looks like this south side is weakened somewhat. So that's good because it was all tornado warnings there for a while. And so now that has pushed off to the east, and pretty much the only apex or the only areas east of Paradise Hill that's showing signs of being being problematic, so to speak. So that's right near Paradise Hill and Evening Shade, and just south of Keys. So that we might have Bob getting into another one here in just a minute or so. If you would, Stacia, could you give us a storm track on that that one just to the south a little bit, so we kind of from Paradise Hill to Dry Creek, and just take a look at that before we go to make sure nothing too weird is going to happen?
Yeah, we can do that. So we'll track these storms. Again, they're moving quickly, northeast at about 60. So what I'm going to do here is take that leading edge. And again, where Travis was talking about with Paradise Hill, this is going to be moving at a pretty good rate. And I'm going to take that leading edge northeast at 60, and I'll draw it here on the fly. And we'll track that up to the north. And here you go. So this is going to take it Scraper 157. This is the entire line. McKee by 2:02, Barber by 2 o'clock, Dry Creek by 2 as well. So from Cherokee County down into Sequoia County, and even to the south from there down to Haskell County, that entire line moving northeast. Also a part that is still watching very closely is in southwestern Delaware County. There seems to be kind of an uptick here in some wind trav that is worth watching, and so we'll monitor that from Little Kansas back up to the north and west, just west of Jay.
All right, and this area that we're looking at that is just to the, just went through Paradise Hill, that's the same part of the system that was down that created a tornado warning earlier down into Pittsburgh County. So that has made its way all the way up and just kind of still bulldozing its way through there. And then back up to the north a little bit, as you were saying, that is enough of a concern to just watch what's going on. So we have what's going on near Lake Tenkiller, nothing too serious. It's gone through Tahlequah, not so bad. Just to the north here, we still have our warning, and we have the stronger winds right now around the Lake Uchi area. And so this is kind of pulling up through Bull Hollow. And so you're going to get some of those strong winds here, strong winds this way. So there should be quite a bit of shear going on right in this location around Lake Uchi. And so that'll move northeast. And with the winds of 60 miles an hour, or movement, I should say, around 55 to 60 miles an hour, that's not taking long for it to move great chunks or great distances. So that is making some headway, we'll say, across this area. So it's going to be in and out very quick, and then you're pretty much done with it. And then you have to wait on the next round of showers and storms that will be coming up. And hey, Aaron, do you still have the future view from your show that we could look at?
Jalen logged in and took over.
She stole your computer?
I don't know, unless she's got it available over there.
Okay. I was going to say I just wanted to point out that storm for tomorrow. We do have this warning that's pushed up here from Lake Uchi area. So this is the new warning for severe thunderstorm warning. So this is going to be covering all the way up into the northern portions of Grand Lake, but northern portions of Delaware County. So if you're around Grand Lake and waking up and going, what's going on? It's that line of thunderstorms. Again, we haven't had any major strong wind event, but this has been a right around 50, maybe near 60 miles an hour. It's kind of minimal severe, but it's just right there. So be advised for that. And so this is a look at, I wanted to show you this. So this is all the rain that we have right now. So this rain thunderstorm showing all this severe weather that we have. Stacia put this together. She's a magician. And then this will be through the morning hours, about 3:30 in the morning. And then by the time we notice what's going on right out west here. You're like, there's still rain. All that storms that we're talking about now is going to be up into Missouri, but there's additional rain and some thunderstorms that still are moving up, and you're like, good grief. So our last round should be around noontime. The problem is some of these storms in here, especially once it gets near Tulsa East, there could be just a couple that are spinning and rotating, and that could be enough to create an isolated tornado risk, and then that'll be moving on out, and then we're done with them for a while, heaven help us, and then we wrap around some clouds just for a while. But thanks, Stacia, that gives us a pretty good indication that we don't really get out of the rain for a while. So that's, we'll get a few breaks for your Easter. Best chance of having a break is Easter afternoon. when you have less chance of sprinkles and showers. If you're north of Tulsa, you still could have gusty northwest winds and colder weather for Easter afternoon and a few sprinkles. Stacia, what do we have with that severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued there for Delaware County?
I was going to put a track on it. They are warning for the potential of 70-mile-per-hour winds. So this warning, it looks like it's moving the leading edge 10 miles here in the last 15 minutes. So we'll put that at about 40 miles per hour. So with that leading edge, taking it from Lake Uchi up to the north and east into the J area. It's going to be in J here really shortly. So that leading edge again from J back up towards Grove, and this will make it towards Brush Creek by 2:05, J by 2:05 as well, and that's 5 more minutes from now, probably even J a little sooner. Sycamore by 2:09, Grove by 2:17, and then Dodge by 2:22, Saratoga by 2:26, Cayuga also about 2:25, 2:26. Trav.
Well, so that has that's had a little bit of a history as well. I was looking at where that originated from, and so that was just part of the some of the storms that came in earlier in the from down, or I should say from up in Wagner County, and they weren't even that impressive, and that has just kind of taken off and really gotten going to where that's now going to be a bit of a problem. We also have those strong winds that are down through Sequoia County, as we said. And then that's a severe thunderstorm warning till 2:45 this morning for our area. So there's several things going on right in here. And so we have to continue to watch that. So the south warnings are for winds of up to 70 miles an hour as well. So that hasn't stopped. So we continue to have the same thing. Our dearest friend, Alan Crone, is walking in the building right now and is going to continue to monitor what's going on with these storms here in a little bit. The biggest thing, and Alan's a very impressive human being because I think he is also going to be playing bass at local church all morning long. So Alan's day starts early every day, and it keeps on going. And he is something else. But anyway, we're talking about a couple of these storms that are still going to be severe for a while longer. And then we have the flood warnings that are in effect. And so this is one storm, and as Stacia was pointing out, with the winds, that could cause some power outages for you in northern portions of Delaware County. And then down to the south, this last warning, this is the newest one with the stronger winds. So Bob's on the north side of that. Bob, if you could give us an update from your perspective of what those winds are doing with that cell. What's going on?
Yeah, they're not too bad right now in the winds. My maximum is about 35. I haven't encountered any severe criteria winds. A lot of heavy rainfall down in here, and we're starting to get the roadway flooding, and I'm hearing some water rescues go out back towards Fort Gibson area. So don't drive into the water. That's the big issue right now, I think, up to the north. Back to you.
Oh, man, yeah, we hate to hear that because that's awful. That is just awful. All right, thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. A little bit further to the south, you can see the rain is over Lake Tenkiller right now. And then back further to the south, it's where we find Brandon, who's near Vian right now. Brandon, update from you. It looks like you got ahead of the rain again. Have you had any winds? Because you're under a warning, but just still no winds, huh?
No, Travis.
Wow.
We'll take it. I mean, we'll definitely take it. But it's very strange that there haven't been any winds, and the biggest issue right now is just the heavy rain. Back to you.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. And so that's what we'll keep an eye on as we go on into the next hour, pretty much. It'll take it about an hour or so for this line of storms to get on through. A little bit further to the south, that's where we find Vaughn. He's been with these storms for quite a while. Vaughn, what do you have for us? What's going on east of Stigler?
Ditto, I'm coming into Keota right now. I haven't let it overtake me yet. It's kind of hard to get back in front of it, but so far I haven't had any winds to speak of, and the rain is just now coming into Keota. But that front edge of this, it looks pretty ominous if you're out in front of it. So anyway, we're going to keep.
All right. All right, thanks. I appreciate it. We got that storm up at J. We got to watch. There's still severe thunderstorms south through McCurtain County, or I shouldn't say McCurtain County, through areas of Latimer County. there. So that's from Wilburton to Red Oak. That's still a very strong storm located there. Sequoia's right there. Sequoia, can you give us an update on what you're seeing with that storm now? I see you've moved east of Wilburton. What do you have?
Yeah, Travis, I'm looking back to the west right now on Highway 270 from Wilburton, or towards Wilburton. Highest winds we've got so far is about 30 miles an hour. A lot of lightning. Ditto on what Vaughn said. The leading edge of this looks really, really scary, but I think it's getting kind of more outflow dominant, so that's a good thing. Less than tornadoes. I'd like to have 30-mile-an-hour winds instead of tornadoes. So back to you, Travis. We'll be keeping an eye on it.
All right, sounds good. The only place of concern right now is up around J. That is continuing to look a little bit more ominous near Sycamore, J area. So that has that's that bulge that has been going on for a long time. And so we've been tracking this like forever. And so it is now into J. So there's a 60, 70 mile an hour winds with this likely, and we issue a tornado warning just about on that spot. If you're in J, need you to take cover right now. And it's in J for all practical purposes because we've been watching this grow and get stronger. Just kind of watching that as I was talking to some of the guys. So this is the new tornado warning, and so this is going to be inclusive of areas just, Stacia, I'll have you do it so you can give us some more specifics. But that has already gone through, so this is wrapping up right in here. And again, this is part of an original severe storm that had tornado type winds associated with it a lot earlier, several hours ago. But this is just associated right now with this circulation feature, this comma head. So we've got the wrapping and it's tightened up. And so it's tight enough that there could be some damage with this. That's why we want you to be careful. Stacia, what do you have?
It's right in J. It's moving northeast at 40, so that will take it up towards kind of the west side too, with west-northwest sides of Sycamore. But we want you in your safe spot in J, in that lowest level, middle part of your home, away from windows and doors. Again, right over J now. And then that will take it up over some pretty rural ground in far central eastern parts of Delaware County, and then up to Dodge by 224, Saratoga by 228, Cayuga closer to 230, Spring Valley by 233, Tiff City by 234. But again, right in J, and then tracking up to the north and east. It should stay south of Grove, but for Grove, want you to pay attention to this really closely. Again, should stay just southeast of you, but headed up towards Dodge by 224.
All right, thanks, Stacia. So if you are in this area, we do need you to be taking cover, especially where Stacia just told you the primary locations are for that track of that storm. And so that is a very turbulent place, and then you can kind of see a secondary place kind of developing right in here. What we are most concerned with is continue to tighten up, and so this is a push of strong westerly, southwesterly winds right in here. Should be 60 mile an hour winds potential with this, and then that's wrapped back around. Notice what we're seeing right in here, and so that's why any place from pretty much Uchi and then extending back into J and areas north to Xena, just east of Xena, that is a very much ground zero location for you to be careful. Make sure you're not near outside windows and walls. Make sure you're taking safety precautions so that you're not going to run into problems here. So this is just east-southeast of Grand Lake. Here's Disney. And then that extends back on, or where Xena is located is on the east side of the lake. So from Xena and then back to J. Let's come down City Street for a minute and pull it a little bit further to the west, and so we can give you a pretty good idea of where we're at right now. So here's the community of J, and then just to the west of that, here's Uchi, and so that location along with right in here. And so as that's wrapped up and back around, that is giving us a high indication that this is going to be very turbulent, and the potential for tornadic damage is definitely there. So that is amped up considerably just in the last little bit. So that's why we see what's gone through J. So this is just a minute or so old. So that'll be now through J and just on probably East 390 Road, and then extending north out of J. And so you can see the latest on the wind flow with this. So this is already through the J area and then extending right now. I'm pretty sure it's easy to say 390 Road, and then that'll also be, I would say, 610 Road. So right in here, is what we're really focusing on at this particular moment along the highway. So if you are in this zone and then extending back to the west a little bit, we do want you to be moving to a place of safety, because it should be rattling the house and you kind of go, what's going on? So it's not just one specific area right now, except this is the circulation feature going right over the J location. And so that's what we want you to be aware of. Right in here as well, I didn't see any hail associated with this. Did you, Stacia? And we'll look at just a very little.
It doesn't look very big.
Yeah, it's in that storm is just, it's more of a wind event than it is anything else, because that is just blasting fast to the northeast. And I don't think a CC.
I've looked. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
yet.
I've been watching it. So okay, so this is the but this is the biggest concern right now. So this is our newest tornado warning. It's not super tight couplet, but this would be kind of from J and kind of how this wrapped back around here on the west side of J, and then extending just from Xena, southeast of Xena. So that's northeast. Do you have another update with the latest update so we can?
I do.
Tell the folks?
So
Okay.
this is still tracking up towards Dodge by 224. Again, from J up to Dodge, and a lot of rural ground there, but Cayuga by 231, Tiff City by 236, northeast at 45 to 50.
All right, tornado warning in effect till 2:30 this morning, as that tornadic cell is now just north of J and continuing to move northeast at about 40 to 45. And so we also have a possibility of some very small hail with that, and 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. So if you are in this area, sirens most likely have been going off for you, and that's where the strongest wind shear is located. That's where the strongest probability of either wind damage or possible tornado could happen, right in here as that moves northeast. So there's the Dodge area. Stacia was just mentioning a few moments ago in Southwest City in Missouri. So that is quickly moving northeast, just east-southeast of Xena. And so that is the center of the circulation, north side of J at this moment. Can you go back to velocity and come in just a little bit closer? And when we look at where the, pretty much from Highway 59 north, and where it would be associated with about, I'd say 365 road, 610 road, that'd be pretty close to where we'd like you to be very much aware of what's going on, and then extending back to the southwest a little bit along 127, probably around East 400 road. Those are the locations that would probably be affected. Also East 365 road, that would be right in here. So that's, so this is the kind of the whole evolving area. And so within this, you could get a spin up. We don't think it's anything super major right now, but there should be some wind damage potential and some power outages that could occur with this as this moves to the north and east. What do you have?
I think pretty soon they're going to cancel it.
So, okay, because it's just kind of hanging in there a little bit longer. And so the overall trend, that was just a quick, can you put that in loop mode for me for just a few moments here? So this was just a quick, right there, just briefly, and see how that weakened, and just that west side just took off a little bit, and that's weakening as well. And so that was tight for a little bit. And so we don't think it's still hanging together quite as much, but if you're in these areas, still be cautious because of winds. The tornado risk is down because you don't see it as tight of a gradient as it was before. All right, that's a look there. And then also, I was going to, I think we're okay, but down around Little Kansas, down around Flint Creek, if you go south just a hair there. And so we call this Little Kansas so we don't get it messed up with Kansas to the north. So this is some strong winds right on this side of the warning. So that'll be around the Colcord area. And so that'll be winds of 60, 70 miles an hour possible right there. It'd be nice if maybe that warning was extended just a little bit further to the south. So even though you're not in a warning, that is still a pretty good indicator of how strong the winds are there. Flood warnings in effect for the Illinois River. Of course, there's so much rain continuing. That line continues to the south as well. And so we can see where Bob is located. Hey, Bob, I don't know if you can talk to me, but give me an update. If you have cell service, I'd like to hear from you. What's going on over there?
Well, I'm on Highway 100 between, well, I'm going to be getting into, I'm well into Adair County. I'll be coming up the Stillwell area before too long, but it's just torrential rain I'm quite certain we've got county roads that are flooding right now. My visibility's been down to not even a quarter mile. It's been down to yards. And just very, very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. Wind, I've been getting gusts of probably anywhere from 30 to 40, pretty consistent down through here. So definitely it's blowing things around, but nothing that would be severe at this point. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it very much. So that's kind of pretty much what we're keeping an eye on with that line. It's just been hanging in there, and then we'll occasionally get a few things like we did around J, where you suddenly get a little bit of a spinning mechanism going on, and then just to the north east a little bit around the Little Kansas area, Concord. Those are the two areas which kind of keep an eye on a little bit. So those are the tornado warning still hanging in there a little bit longer, even though it looks like it's weakened. Still circulation feature there. Concord also has a circulation feature here. If we can do INX with a velocity data, that would be great. So that's kind of weakened a lot there. And then the one at Concord is still tighter, winds strong, and so that's just going to be a bit of an issue. So that's they adjusted the severe thunderstorm warning for that area. So with all that said, we still have quite a bit going on, but with the tornado warning most likely going to be dropped unless something fires back up or recycles. We're going to just be watching. Down to the south, we'll go to Brandon, Vaughn, and Sequoia here. Let's go to Brandon, get an update from Brandon with a severe thunderstorm that's in Sequoia County. Brandon, what do you have? Oh, did he just drop off while I said that? Is he, Brandon's there? Okay.
Yeah, so right now we're here off of 40 and just getting some light rain and 25 to 30 mile an hour winds. And that's about it as this line
we're going to put
approaches us.
yeah, we're going to put you guys to sleep if you don't get some severe weather. And I guess that's probably the best thing that could happen for Easter. So I don't think anybody's going to really be too upset there. So, all right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Going back down the line a little bit further, Vaughn has been watching that line. Vaughn, do you have anything to add to it? What's it look like from your perspective?
Oh, it's probably pretty boring here too. It's kind of taking its time moving east.
Yeah.
I'm east of Kyoto, thinking that I would stay right along with it, but it's moving more of a northerly track. It's almost like it stopped moving east. But I'm just paying attention to these interesting areas, like the one that's just to the west of Kyoto. It's kind of an interesting area to look at. And I'm going to keep track of that as that kind of moves up towards, the still Salisaw area. But, we'll keep watching it because these things can spin up at any time, as we all know.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then a little bit further south along that line, Sequoia, what do you have for us down there?
Well, it's about I did owe from both the boys up north. Just some scary-looking clouds coming in. It's like Vaughn said, it has slowed down. I'm in Red Oak. I've been sitting here waiting on it. A while ago, I couldn't keep up with it. Now it seems to have really slowed down, which is terrible for the flooding that's been going on. So we'll keep back to you, sir.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a break. Tornado warning has been dropped, and we have Chloe and Alan that are in to take over this morning and to make sure that we get these storms out of here safely. And then we'll be back for more severe weather, I think, probably during midday, a little bit later on. In the meantime, we'll be right back. Keep it here. We'll keep you advised.